I need that sports encyclopedia. Where you at, Steve Kim? Got Trent in the cut.
What are you?
He's the best.
Yeah.
He's a master motivator.
I'm a master motivator. I ain't no regular ass motivator. I'm a fucking master.
Coaches tried to make practice so hard that the game was less intrusive. Like they coached you that way. Like people think, well, they were just yelling. No, they were trying to put you under stress and put you in under duress so that when you got in the game, you could mentally handle adversity.
If you go through JUCO and you make it out of JUCO, you can make it anywhere.
I respect the hell out of you to see that you're doing what you're doing and still doing what you're doing for real, the way you do it, man. From day one, you had the same enthusiasm. You keep the same enthusiasm, and it's fucking contagious.
In my opinion, I think Shedeur Snow's the best deep ball in college football. I don't think
Can you just say something nice about Shedeur Sanders?
I love talking ball. It's nice to connect with guys that are like-minded and just are real and genuine.
And I'll proudly stand up next to you all. God bless America.
You said belt to ass, T-Red. You got the belt around you.
What up? We are in the building. It's Truth Telling Thursday on the realest show on planet Earth. Pound the like, subscribe, become a member today. I am rocking solo dolo. Smitty had an event at work at Fox, so he won't be here today and possibly tomorrow. We'll see. He might be back tomorrow, but we'll see. So I'm solo dolo today. So pound that like, subscribe, become a member, and we will break down all things real on the realest show on planet Earth. Powered by BetUS. So head on over there today. Use the promo code Coach JB. The NFL spoke. The team spoke yesterday by keeping the Tush push in place that the Eagles made so famous. Listen, I alluded to this yesterday with Shaun Salisbury on his show, Unpaved, that I haven't heard by anybody else. And I've been saying this for a while, but I want to make sure I elaborate on it completely. The biggest question I hear is, why don't everyone else do it? Why don't you just stop it then, coach? You're old school. I can't believe you don't like it. Just stop it. See, that's the ignorance in a lot of you that talk that never coached or played. Do the Bengals really run this play? Can everyone raise their hand? Do the Bengals want to run tush push with Joe Burrow? No. Shut the fuck up. Does Kansas City want to run it with Mahomes? Raise your hand. Anyone? No. Shut the fuck up. Do the Chargers want to run it with Herbert? Anyone? No. Shut the fuck up. Rams with Stafford? Anybody? How about the Jags with Trevor Lawrence? No. Not going to run it. Lions with Goff? 6'6", 220. Fucking frail as shit. They're going to run it with Goff? Who, they depend on to throw the football every day? No, they're not. Green Bay, Jordan Love. You think they're going to run a heavy dose of tush push? How about Dak and Cowboys? He's only worth $60 million a year. They're going to run a lot with him? The list goes on and on and on. Why hasn't anyone brought this up but me? Jalen Hurts was expendable. That's why they ran it with him until he won a Super Bowl. Make no mistake about it. He wasn't proven yet. And he had the perfect body type behind the perfect O-line to perfect this perfect play. And most importantly, willing to explore this play with a quarterback who was at the time expendable. Jalen Hurts does not want to run this play. Make no mistake about it. He does not want to run this rugby shit after this contract expires. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Charles Barkley. There are a handful of quarterbacks who actually run this play decently. Josh Allen, another big-bodied freak athlete. Jalen Hurts, who squats the house and has the line that is in full understanding of this play and how leverage works. But who else is really running this play at this rate? I've been telling Smitty, I've been telling y'all, that's the reason nobody else runs it. No one wants to run it. I'm not spending my practice time on this. Kudos to the Eagles. You invented a rugby scrum. You got it. The rest of the copycats in the league are saying we're not going to copy this particular play. We'll copy veer option and turn it into triple option in the shotgun. We'll copy the West Coast offense and turn it into spread. We'll copy the shotgun and introduce, triple option out of it. We'll copy run and shoot. We'll copy this and that. But this is a play we're not going to copy when it's going to be up for ruling changes every single year like it was today. And it was vetoed. It's going to stay another year. The Eagles will go make another run, and then they'll ban the play. I'm just telling you. Nobody wants to run it, number one. No one else in the league. You got a couple teams that will run it. Number two, you can't stop an illegal play that has a distinct advantage over the opponent, which, by the way, is the NFL rule book. In the rule book, is considered a foul by definition. Let me repeat that. This is an illegal play, contrary to everyone's belief, per the NFL rule book. I know a referee that's really high up, and the rule states, by definition, any flag thrown by a referee is thrown for one reason and one reason only, because that particular player or team has a distinct advantage over the opponent. Now, you tell me that this is not a foul every time it's ran. If this isn't a distinct advantage, you are ignorant and don't understand football. Period. Let me get this straight too. I want to make sure for all you guys out there talking about this particular play and mad at me for actually wanting to get rid of it. Here, let me get this straight. But you're okay with this play, but you're not okay with the kickoff rule change? You're okay with eliminating wedge breakers on kickoff return? Hold on. You guys are okay with this rule, but not the onside kick rule being changed to where I have to let you know I'm kicking it? Got it. So let me know. Let me be clear here. If we're got to call the coach on the sideline with a cell phone to let him know I'm onside kicking it, how about this? Let me know you're running this rugby scrum play, and so I can sub my defense in to put all 340-pound D linemen in and use that same team on defense that I practice to stop the tush push all week long with. How about that, Roger Goodell? How about you dictate the snap count to first sound like I've been saying for quite a while? So we now can make this fair. Make it first sound so I can time the snap and jump over and push my D tackle into your center and make this fair. Here's a kicker. Since safety and fair gameplay is the mission statement literally on NFL.com for Roger Goodell. Roger Goodell's sole mission statement is safety and fair gameplay. Can't make it up. Fair gameplay is a rugby scrum with a rolling start with 3 guys pushing my quarterback. That's fair gameplay. And that's safety. Got it. But what do I know? Let's dive into it, man. We got a loaded show today. JB's crying. Yeah, I'm crying. I could give a fuck less. All I know is, as a coach, guess what? It's an illegal football play. And you know what else? You're actually failing your players for not advocating for your team on defense to stop a play that's illegal scrum. But you fucks who never played, T. Haywood, you guys are all easy to talk behind your keyboard because you never fucking did anything for anyone. You've never fucking played or coached it down. So, T. Haywood, shut the fuck up. You're a nobody. Nobody cares. You're an absolute nobody who's never played or helped anyone. So, of course you have. Show your resume. Drop it right now. You got a minute before I block your bitch ass. You got 1 minute to drop your resume, bitch. Let me see it. You got 1 minute. Count it down. 1 minute. I'm going to Google. What's his name right now? T. Haywood. What's your real name? Let me Google you real quick. Hey, chat, count how many excuses T. Haywood uses in the next 1 minute before he addresses the actual question. Give me your resume. I guarantee you he can't answer it. So he's only going to say, keep crying. Let's count now. Let's count how many excuses that motherfucker has. Let's count how many excuses he has. It's always the nobodies, homie. Like, no profile picture, fake name. It's unbelievable. Let's dive into brass tacks, though, to the lead-in. Let me ask you guys real quick. Name me those. Can you show the graphic, Bailey? Show me that graphic right here. So, voted not to ban, all right? 10 teams. Eagles, of course. That's what they do. The Ravens, of course. You got Lamar Jackson. Why wouldn't you? The Browns, well, guess what? You got a massage therapist cat who's on fucking suspension, who's never going to play again. You don't know who your quarterback is, so guess what? They're fine with it. The Lions. So they're not going to run it on offense. Last time I checked, the Lions don't run tush push with Jared Goff. So obviously they voted not to for other reasons that Will won't probably know or dive into. The Jags, they don't really run it. The Jets don't really run it. They weren't running it with Aaron fucking Rodgers, right? The Saints just retired a quarterback with a shoulder injury. So guess what? They probably not running it. The Patriots got a rookie second-year guy. They're not going to run fucking tush push. The Dolphins running tush push with a guy who gets a concussion by shitting on the toilet every day. And the Tennessee Titans, who don't have any clue who their quarterback is and just drafted another number 1 pick in Cam Ward. You think they're running tush push? So, anyway, why they voted not to ban it is probably political. Now, let's dive into voted to ban it. The Cardinals, the Falcons, the Bills, who actually is the second best team running it in the NFL, who will be on Hard Knocks apparently now since Belichick turned it down at North Carolina because he didn't want to be on there with the Tinder date. You got the Panthers, the Bears. Do the Bears run it with Caleb Williams? Do the Panthers run it with Bryce Young? Do the Bengals run it with Joe Burrow? Do the Cowboys run tush push? Do the Green Bay Packers? Do the Kansas City Chiefs? Do the Denver Broncos run tush push? Do the Texans with C.J. Stroud run tush push? Do the Raiders run it now with Geno? Do the Colts run it with AR5? Maybe with AR5. They're not running with Daniel Jones. Do the Chargers with Herbert, who's worth $300 million? Do the Rams with Stafford, who's made the second most amount of money in NFL history? No. Do the Steelers run it now with who? Aaron Rodgers or whoever else? Small hands Pickett can't even get on the center and take a snap. Who else? The Vikings aren't running it with really a rookie. Do the Giants run it now with whoever their guy is going to be? No. Do Seattle run it now with Sam Darnold? No. Is Baker Mayfield running tush push? Maybe one time a month. I don't know. Are the Commanders running it? And now, are you going to run tush push with the San Francisco 49ers and Brock Purdy, who just signed the 7th largest contract in NFL history? You guys are the most micro fucking people when it comes to, well, why don't everybody get good at it? Why don't everybody run it? Because they don't want to run it. They got $200 million quarterbacks. That's why. Anyway, I don't know why mainstream media won't tell you guys all that, but that's why. Nobody wants to run it, T. Mixon. That's where you're confused. Why do you keep missing the fact? Nobody else wants to run it, homie. Like, nobody else wants to run it. Jesse, when you start producing, then you start telling me what to do, fuck boy. Until then, just watch the show and shut the fuck up. Or don't watch the show. I could give a fuck less. You're not a producer, though. Last time I checked, Jesse. LBC. Most motherfuckers from Long Beach that I know are some funny style cats anyway, Jesse, so you fucking fit right in. God damn, I love the producers. You know what we used to do when we were young? We were taught to don't say shit. If you don't like it, just leave. But don't say stupid shit because you'll just get blocked. Because I could give a fuck less about anyone today. So don't say shit or get the fuck out. I really don't give a fuck. You motherfuckers are absolutely fucking embarrassing, homie. Like I give a fuck what you think I should do. You fucking got me really fucked up. I don't think you realize. I could give a fuck less what your opinions of me are or of the show or anything else. Good fucking luck getting me to now I'm going to stay on fucking football until Jesse fucking leaves since he's running the show now all of a sudden. Holy fuck, man. You motherfuckers are embarrassing. You tell your mama fucking, Mom, pay my cell phone bill today. Fucking weirdos, man. Quote of the day brought to you by BetUS. Let's dive right into it. Great quote, right to the segue of Jesse LBC. People are busy impressing fake people and forgetting the loyal people who stood with them. You're too fucking busy impressing these fake fucks out here for clicks and likes and forgetting the loyal folks who stood with you. That's what's fucking crazy today in the real world. Yeah, that's true. Stop impressing motherfuckers who give a fuck less about you, number one, who's going to piss on you and tell you it's raining, for the fucking real ones who stood with you. There's too many fake fucks out here on social media. Social media has made you fake. You fucks are fake. Holy Keith, shut the fuck up. You fat wobble body fuck. You'll get booted too today. Fucking chocolate chip cookie, fucking titty fuck. Contrary to belief, brought to you by BetUS. I'd rather be labeled fake for being real than labeled real for being fake. Contrary to belief, Jesse, Keith. I'd rather be labeled fake for being real than labeled real for being fake. All fucking day. You can actually tattoo that on my ass cheek when I'm buried down, face down, ass up, when you can kiss it, when you bury me 6 feet deep. That's what I'll have tattooed on me. I'd rather be labeled fake for being real than labeled real for being fake. Now you can kiss my motherfucking ass with your tongue out. Poll question. Let's dive right into it. You guys can now answer it in the chat or don't. I don't really give a fuck. Is the biggest choke last night was the biggest choke job in NBA conference finals history. Fact or cap, was last night's choke job the biggest in the NBA conference final history? I think it was. I don't know how you choked this off. I really don't. I was on the yacht, on the jet ski, and this is choke job 2.0. This is choke job 2.0. And I don't understand. You're still up 121 to 112 with 58 seconds. Are you fucking kidding me? You choke this off? I don't understand how teams, and I'm cool. I like Tibbs and all these guys. There's just no fucking possible way that you're still up 8 with 36 seconds left and lose. There's no way. I've never seen it. I've never fucking seen it. I don't understand why. I believe the craziest stat line I've ever seen is 997-1 now is what they are. 1 for 1,414 after being up by that point. That's a crazy stat line. And I believe it was under so many seconds, it was 997-0. Here's what everyone out here is going to be fooled by today. This was a great game. I mean, I'm getting text messages on the water. This is a hell of a game. This is real shit. This is hooping. Listen, they fooled y'all. This is fooling you. You get fooled every so often by the NBA's one game a season, one game in the playoffs. This was the best game of the season. It might have been, because look how shitty this product is. This was a normal in a NBA game 15, 20 years ago. This was what the games were. This is what the conference finals used to be every game. Go look it up. Go on your YouTube. Ijoma Barbecue. Great name. Go on your YouTube and Google it. Since you don't know shit, you never were around and never saw it. So this is what the NBA used to be all the time. So now you guys are fooled by the worst product in the NBA's history. Worst product in NBA history. You're fooled by one good game, and now you think it's the shit. That's what's going to fucking... Now, this has rejuvenated the NBA. Now, everyone thinks the ratings are going to be up. Now, everyone thinks fucking everything's going to be up, and everything's back good again. No. You still play an in-season tournament. You still play with fucking gay-colored floors. You still fucking have females trying to coach men. You still have LGBTQ written on the court. You still are woke fucks. You still are soft pussy. You still watch a common foul for 10 minutes, 6 to 7 times. The players still do this every fucking play when they think they got fouled. I love seeing this by the players. You know what I would say to the first player that did this? Shut the fuck up. I would tell my fucking player, stop putting your fucking hand up like you run this shit. Shut the fuck up. I'm tired of seeing this. Every fucking time down court. Coach, shut the fuck up. I got the camera. I see what the fucking penalty is. Shut the fuck up. We're not reviewing it again, motherfucker. This is what the player empowerment shit has ruined professional sports in America. That's why American sports are dead. But what do I know? American sports ain't dead. They're absolutely 100% dead. They're dead. Because you allowed the players to run the shit and not the coach. That's when it happens. It's called hierarchy. There's a hierarchy. Like when T. Haywood goes to prison and jail and gets fucked by Tyrone and all the homies, right? When this fuck goes to jail and gets ran through, what happens is there's hierarchy, T. Haywood. I don't know if you realize that. So when you're getting bent over and getting fucked in the pen, you have to answer to certain cats, homie. You do know that, right, T. Haywood? So guess what? The hierarchy is inmate, prison guard, warden. You do know that, right? In real life, it used to be player, coach, GM, owner. Now, though, it's owner, GM, coach, player runs the show. That's what it is. That's the truth. Players now, with the money they get, have now ran everything. So, I mean, it is what it is. But I'm not really mad at the fact. I'm cool with the players getting paid, all that shit. But when the players think that they're bigger and better than the game itself because of the money they make, which is a lot of times more than the coach, that's when player empowerment kicks the sport's ass. And that's why American sports are dying, if they're not dead already. That's why European basketball players come over here and become the face of the league. Do you think the 80s, 90s, early 2000s would have allowed Euros to be the face of our league? Do you really think that out there? If you do, then you're a communist who don't fucking understand what American sports really are. Just so you know. So you really think that these fucking soft Euros that would have came over here, the Paul Gasols who KG elbowed in his fucking face and dominated in the fucking finals when Boston beat the Lakers, you really think that's the norm? That's what they should have been? No. It should have been KG smacking the fuck out of Paul Gasol like he did, punking his Euro bitch ass like he did when I started saying, get rid of this motherfucker, when Kobe had to carry everybody because Paul Gasol was soft as fuck because Euros were soft as fuck. Guess what? Euros didn't change the game. Y'all allowed Europeans to implement their game in America. They didn't do shit. You allowed Euros to come over here and play 3-point perimeter basketball at 7 foot tall. And then the American kid, who, guess what, is very influential. When you watch others, you do, just so we know. So you're clear. That's how life works. So the youngsters growing up seeing Dirk Nowitzki shooting threes at 7 foot, and then it translates into Wembanyama at 7'7", shooting threes, crossing over fucking guys. Guess what? Now you think that's the game, and that's the Euro style. No, we allowed it because you can't sit here and tell me that Charles Oakley, Dennis Rodman, and all the greats from back in the day wouldn't have absolutely clotheslined Wembanyama weighing 137 pounds and threw his ass in the front seats of the fucking arena. You're out of your fucking mind. But no, nowadays we allow it. And half the time we're not even on the court to do it anyway because you've load managed the rest of the season, so you're not even out there half the time. So anyway, this is a horrible product. The NBA is fucking garbage. And guess what? Kudos to the NBA for having one good game. Guess what? I missed it. I was on the water, and I would not redo that fucking act for anything. I could give a fuck if you told me there was 1 million fucking views. It's the greatest game ever. I would not give a fuck. I was doing this right here. And by the way, let me address the gay looking act here. I want to make sure that we're all clear. He's on his own seat, not nuts on my back. Shut the fuck up. And let me explain what happened, okay? Let me explain everything that happened right now. So what happened is, Jesse, Mr. fucking producer extraordinaire, what happened was that was the first time launching this particular vessel in the ocean. So Ruben had to help me launch it and then drive my truck and trailer up and park it while I sat on this jet ski on the launch ramp, right? Jesse, you know where Davies is. So Davies launched, boom, put it in the water. I'm chilling for Ruben so I can drive him back around the mile hike back to my yacht slip. So then I could put the jet ski next to the yacht slip. So had to move around my manipulation on my slip so I could fit the yacht with the jet ski. So now I got the jet ski and the yacht together. And bam, there you go. That's a 3-seater, by the way. You put the bitch in the middle if you really want to go out and chill. But I'll never ride that with another person. Me and Ruben almost fell in 3 or 4 times. But it is what it is. But that's one of the baddest bitches on the water right there, by the way. Every single person. By the way, Slapdick's already painted on that bitch. It's on the trailer of that bitch. You see it right there. I don't know if you can see it, but it's in maroon, by the way, my favorite color. So it's Slapdick ready. It's already on there. Why is the woman recording and the man on the jet ski? Because I don't want the other women to know what women this is, you fucking idiot. God. Some of you motherfuckers need to step your game up, homie. You really think I want the other bitch to know what other bitch this is filming me? You fucking idiot. God damn. Anyway, Keith, when you lose 250 pounds, then holler at me and I'll teach you the game. So when you lose 250 and you get down to 550, hit me up and we'll fucking work on it. Anyway, yeah, that's brand new. 2025, 320 horse, man. That's motherfuckers fast, by the way. 75 miles an hour, I think it does. I don't know. It's crazy. It's one of the best ones. The sound system on the motherfucker is unbelievable, too. I spared no expense, by the way. The motherfuckers actually got beat on it. I put some real sound on that bitch. Bluetooth, got all the waterproof safety shit, all that shit. Notice I'm not in a life jacket. The lifeguard had something to say to me. Luckily, he knew I was. I mean, not the lifeguard, the Coast Guard. Said, JB, what are you doing? I said, man, I just launched it, dog. I'm not going out. I just want to put it out on the fucking, put it in my slip. All right. I'm going to act like I didn't see it. I'm like, cool. And let us go. Plus, Ruben, they know Ruben's only here for a few more days with ice coming around. So the Coast Guard felt bad for Ruben. But anyway, it was a beautiful day out there. I don't know if you got, let's see. I want to show, let me show Bailey something else real quick. Because we got a couple things on the boat Ruben is always up for epic failure. And I don't know if you knew that, but he's usually always failing on the boat. Something usually happens. So it is what it is. Let's see. Let me get into brass tacks real quick while we show some little videos from yesterday. Let me get into some. The Indiana Pacers, if you're a God-fearing man or faith believer or just pure luck, and if that's what you think it is, regardless. But it sure was fitting that the Pacers won in epic fashion the day the Colts lose their owner, Jim Irsay. It seems to have bothered a lot of people, from Pat McAfee to Peyton Manning to everyone that was around Jim Irsay. Everyone that I know that knew Jim Irsay said he was one of the greatest humans on planet Earth. 65 years old. My dad died at 67, which was way too young. 65 seems to be way too young. It is what it is, but very fitting that the Pacers and Halliburton win it for Jim Irsay. Pat McAfee, Indiana. It just seems so fitting today because I'm sure McAfee will have Halliburton on, who sounds like, yeah, let's go, like that. And then we'll get to hear this fuck come on and talk. But having said that, I'm glad he made the shot, man. I'm rooting for the Knicks and Jalen Brunson because he's my favorite player in the NBA because he actually plays without saying a lot and don't fucking show up everybody and want fucking review and do all that shit. So I actually like the Knicks. I want the Knicks to win because of Jalen Brunson. Other than that, though, this is choke job 2.0. This is fucking choke job 2.0 last night, and that is what you saw. Look at that shit. How epic is that? How epic is that? But rest in peace, Jim Irsay, man. I don't know what happened, but I do know this. Billionaires don't let thousandaires, hundredaires, millionaires even know about their health. They just don't. If you didn't realize that. You don't see a lot of billionaires who get thrown out in the limelight that they're sick, ailing, or dying. You don't hear about it. And I talked to a billionaire friend of mine who said, you know why? Because the vultures come out. The vultures come out and then they try to get their hands on, whether it's through liquidity or whatever, they try to get their hands on everything. The vultures come out. So the leeches come out to try to get everything from you. So guess what? He already puts it in all his, I'm sure, his will and trust, and everything else has already been done years ago. But anyway, having said that, we didn't know that. We don't know that. And a lot of people probably didn't know his health other than his immediate family that never spoke about it. So I didn't know he was sick. Did anyone else? That's the fact I'm making. That's the reason I'm making. Nobody knows. Nobody knows that he was sick for that very reason right there. So just throwing that out there. That's how the shit works. But yeah, his daughter will probably take over, I'm sure, in this day and age. I don't know who else will help her, but I don't know. That's what I'm hearing. Is there a cause of death, Bailey? Have they said? So there's not even a cause of death yet. We don't even know. Nobody even knows what the cause of death is. It's on the low. If you heard about it, why is it so quiet? Why has no one mentioned it? Why 24 hours now you haven't heard anything? Told you, man. Billionaires, they move different. This is what it is. We got a source that. Here we go. JB wasn't sick. He had a drinking and drug problem. Keith, no offense, but if you think I'm using your source or you as the factual fucking source behind everything, you're out of your fucking mind. And if he was sick and you're not, then we got a fucking problem, America. Because I know your cholesterol levels through the fucking roof. I know your blood pressure is so fucking high. Your eyes are fucking yellow. I know for a fact that all that fucking titty juice you possess, there's no fucking way that you're healthier than Jim Irsay, a billionaire at 65 years old. So I'm not using your fucking source, Keith. God damn. Anyway, seems to be that he fucking died in his sleep too, by the way. That's what they're always going to say. Who knows? It'd be ironic. How's he going to fall? How's he going to die in his sleep and no one knew he was sick? I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting. I'm going to see. Stilly the Boss. It's not called fat shaming. It's called bullying. And bullying is what we need to come back to make America great again. You fuck. That's the problem with you soft pussies. It's actually necessary. It's actually necessary. Rest in peace also to Around the Horn. The wokest show in the history of television. The rest in peace there. It's finally going to air its last show. So make sure you guys go over there and watch Around the Horn with a bunch of fucking idiots talking about nothing but besides why boys should fucking play girls in sports and why it's okay to cut off an 8-year-old's dick, make him a girl, and why it's okay for Leah Thomas's flipper foot to beat you in a race, biological female. Go over there and watch all that. Make sure you guys watch it. Hey, I know Stilly will watch it. Stilly, you want to watch Around the Horn today? Go check it out, homie. Oh, fuck, homie. It's unbelievable. The fuck is that? Anyway, we got a lot going on today. Let's get into the topics, though. Female. Speaking of football, why we have flag football in the Olympics? Why flag football is now the new topic. American. Let me ask something, everybody, real quick. Is a gold medal, Olympic gold medal in flag football really something you can hang your hat on in 30 years? Is that really what we want our fucking kids around the fire talking about? The gold medal I won in flag football? Seriously. Anyone advocating for an American gold in flag football? By the way, can I ask a few questions real quick? And everyone just raise their hand when you know it. Let me ask a question real quick. Bailey, hop in real quick. Let me ask you a question. I need a face on here to ask.
Oh, boy. Yes.
Can you hear me? Oh, my bad. Let me check.
Can you hear me?
All right, Bailey. I can put an all-star high school team together right now. I can actually just go out here, Mater Day, get Mater Day's best players, St. John Bosco's best players. I'll go to Gibbs. I'll go over here. I'll go to IMG. I'll go out here to Vegas, get a few cats from there. And we'll go to Katy, a couple of schools in Texas. We'll get a couple guys there. They can win the gold in flag football. Correct?
Yeah, if you went around and got the best talent, JB, for sure. At all the schools you just mentioned.
Best high school, right? Best high school football. So why don't I go get the best high school players to win this? Now, all right, let's go back. Let's go up one more. I guarantee you I can get the best JUCO players to win it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Especially.
All right. And then let's go to D1. Let's go get college players then. It's all amateur by everyone else. Why are we sending Justin Jefferson over there? So I can see a Gus Edwards, or not Gus Edwards, but what's his name? Edwards that spiral fractured his fucking leg in the Pro Bowl.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good point.
And in a sand flag football game. I'm trying to figure this out. But there's plenty of players in America that can go over there and win the gold without sending an NFL guy over.
I agree. Yeah.
Let me ask you, Do you know, is this women's too playing? No. Is there women's flag going over there too?
I can find out. I can't confirm that off the top. I did not see. I mean, if there is women's flag football in the Olympics, that's going to be a whole nother discussion.
It's coming, my light-skinned friend. It's coming. It's coming.
Yes. All right. Here you go. Yes, women's flag football will be making its Olympic debut at the 2028 Summer Olympics in Los Angeles. So it sounds like that it'll be men and women.
Wait, when?
Summer Olympics 2028. So
women and men. So, oh man, this all makes sense now. All right, thanks, Bailey. I needed to know that. We have tons of players that can go win this thing without sending our NFL players over there. Number one, I want to make sure we're clear here. Roger Goodell should make Roger Goodell sign something for when or if someone gets hurt in this shit show debacle, that he's held accountable, that he's actually held accountable, because this was going to happen. He'll get a pass by saying, okay, we're going to end it now because, we got a guy hurt over there. No, you need to get fucking sued for sending guys over there in the first place, for passing this fucking stupid fucking rule to allow these guys to go over there and play. And let me just be clear real quick. The athleticism in the competition is going to be, yes, the owners did vote on it, obviously, but guess who Roger Goodell and the owners are in bed with? Corporate American sponsors, globalists, global sponsors, and guess who makes this thing go? Money. You don't think corporate sponsors funded this thing? Are you out of your fucking mind? Have you looked into some of it? So let me dive into this real quick. So I send over Malota and Jalen Hurts, and for God, please no, but one or two get hurt in a flag football game for this reason. This is why, though. When the athleticism is the disparity is so great, and they're so bad, and they're trying to chase around better talent, and you got little Otanis out there and fucking all these different fucking people trying to chase our fucking freaks around in a flag football game, guess what they resort to? Trying to fucking do things that are awkwardly different, and people get hurt, Tommy. You are going to have a glorified 7-on-7 out here, and you're going to see an absolute shit show. How do you go from being one of the greatest players in the world to putting flags on in the global stage and taking it serious? How does fucking Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase or Joe Burrow flip his switch and go from a real professional game to flag and make it competitive where they're not laughing and smiling out there like clowning like it's a joke? This is a joke, homie. It is absolutely a joke. Dirk 30 with no profile picture, no member. So that's the fact. It's going to look like an absolute joke. And if anybody in here watches it, shame on you. Because I surely ain't watching one fucking snap of that shit, other than I'll do a video of it talking shit. When I'll see one play, I'll do a video and boom. And let me ask you, who out here disagrees with me that I would put money on it right now? I will bet somebody in this chat that a woman will be the coach. Who wants to bet me, homie? Who wants to bet me? I want to bet somebody. Please make a bet with me. There's going to be a woman coach, homie. Oh, yeah, assistant counts. Of course. What do you mean? There's going to be a fucking assistant. There's going to be a coach out there, female coaches. I fucking promise you. I guarantee you there'll be some females out here coaching in this fucking Olympics. And by the way, you're going to have female players too. So you're going to have females on that side. You know it's going to be all female coaches on there. It's going to be all female coaches over there. And I wouldn't be surprised if they're all gay female. They'll be coaching the females, so you know there's females there. Then on the guy side, because Roger Goodell and all the shit we put in the Black Lives Matter. By the way, remember when Black Lives Mattered in the end zone? Changed the world forever? Remember they put Black Lives Matter in the end zone and it's changed racism forever? Hey, Roger, it's actually worse. Racism's actually worse right now in America. I don't know if you know that. I don't know how much money you spent on all the fake fucking BLM protesters. But you know what? Has anyone asked themselves this question? Where did BLM go? Where did all the protesters go? Can someone please raise your hand and ask me? Can you answer the question? Where did all the protesters go from BLM to fucking all the shit we saw forever? I just came to my mind. I wanted to know where it was, where they went. I know where. Can I tell everybody? What happens is when you don't pay them anymore, they don't show up. So when you take the money away, they stop going. The money went away. So did they. Shit. Boston, no, we got plenty of topics. We got Shedeur topics too. We got plenty of Shedeur Sanders topics. I got Jackson Dart throwing shade at Shedeur Sanders, saying he doesn't work very hard. I got Shedeur Sanders looking absolutely horrible in camp, but nobody wants to talk about it. They only want to show a back shoulder fade ball. Nobody wants to talk about back screens that he throws all day. I saw a video that he looks great, and all he threw was 2 5-yard out routes. And I was like, holy fuck. Media is a motherfucker, let me tell you. So Boston Richie, no, we got plenty of Shedeur topics later on today. We got Travis Hunter news too. He's getting married. But anyway, I want to show this topic of a female, speaking of females and coaching in flag football. Take a look at this broad. Can we? I'm going to rewind it. I want to rewind it right there. Right there. Pause that right there. Can we pause that right there? Right there. Pause that. And let me go a little further. Go a little further, Bailey. Right there. Pause it. Right there. Pause it. Now, I've seen both sides of the stadium on 2 different videos. I've seen 2 different end zones, 2 different sides of the stadium. Okay. Can we make this make sense here? Again. This is why nobody watches the WNBA without Caitlin Clark. This is why nobody watches this dumb shit right here. Now, take a look. I saw the other side as well. It looks exactly like this side. You see those stadium? You see the stands? How packed they are? You see how packed the stadium is? Now, listen to the crowd, though. I want you to hear it. Unmute it, Bailey, and listen to it. Can anyone tell me where the crowd is? The noise coming from? I've seen both sides of the stadium. I don't know where this crowd noise is from. Oh, they pumped it in, I guess. But anyway, nobody's there. Nobody's at this place but coaches and immediate family. Nobody's there besides these players' wives. So, nobody's going to watch flag football, homie. You guys are out of your fucking mind. Nobody's watching this shit, homie. Can we stop? Can we stop with the fucking flag football shit? please. By the way, this broad right here ran for 100 yards and 4 touchdowns, I want to say. Let's throw the rest of it, Bailey. By the way, why does she have a flag on and pads? It's just pink. Fuck it. All right, go ahead. Student section goes crazy. Here we go.
Yards and 4 rushing touchdowns. Shy, how is it so easy for you to hit the holes in this game?
To be honest, I want to give the credit to my O-line. Like, they really went to business. Some of the things that we talked about on the sideline was very key and important for me to be able to hit the holes and get those touchdowns.
How do you feel after this big performance?
I feel like super excited. I didn't even know elated, want to jump for joy, scream at the top of my lungs. Right now I'm just dealing with like a little bit of bruised ribs, but we had an amazing game. So I'm so excited for every single player, even myself.
You have bruised ribs because you just had a fucking kid. You just had a fucking baby. You're 40 years old, lady. I love 40-year-old women. No mistake about it. But you're someone's mama, auntie, maybe grandma. Go home. What are we doing? What are we fucking doing? This lady right here has a full-time 9 to 5, homie. Somewhere out there. Sprouts, Walmart. She works somewhere. In office. I don't know where she works, homie, but I know this. There's no fucking way that she's not someone's mama or baby mama or auntie. Why are we doing this? Seriously. It's like we're doing this shit to push some sort of agenda just to say we're doing it. When in fact, it's a fucking joke. The joke is on you. Flag footballers. Women trying to play football in pads. Nobody cares. Nobody wants to watch a woman get in pads and play each other. I'm sorry. Nobody wants to see this shit. Nobody wants to see this shit. See, the micro people in the chat, like Basketball Jones, not her fault they put a mic in her face, gassing her up. That's micro, homie. You sound like Smitty. Here's the macro level guy speaking. How about don't go out there and play football and never be out there in front of the mic because you have no mic to have in front of you because you're working at your fucking 9 to 5 and being a mother to your kid. How about that from the jump? How about don't go fucking out there and play? She looked like the homegirl that does hair and nails and that I get my fucking liquor from in the hood, by the way. This is where I go get the fucking, you know, the liquor bits that's in the hood at the liquor store, at the barbershop that comes through. I got the liquor in the trunk. This looks like a broad I know. No real shit. Ugh. Stilly the boss, don't get blocked on me. You know why I'm talking about it, because I want to talk about it. It's my fucking show. So shut up. I don't have energy for your fucking nobody ass. Anyway, 4 touchdowns, 100 yards, bruised ribs. Shout out to her. Anyway, another new rule has popped up in the NFL. And it rhymes with hey, they, may. And it's called the Protector Award. It's another award. Anyway, another award has come out. I don't know why. Don't get it. I don't understand why we keep having awards. The Protector of the Year will now be the honor, and it will go to the league's top offensive lineman. Protector of the year. Fuck, can you gay it up anymore, Roger Goodell? Can you come up with a fucking gayer term for O lineman? Are you fucking shitting me? How about War Daddy? How about War Daddy? War Daddy, I would like. Protector of the universe. Hey, fuck, man. I swear to God, we make this shit so fucking soft and pussy sounding. Protector of the year. Yeah, I actually like that better. Make it a name. Put fucking Orlando Pace on it. Tony Baselli, fucking Jackie Slater would be a great name. Fucking Larry Allen, rest in peace. Protector of the year. War Daddies are the trench monsters. They're the O-line, D-line. So, of course, it's soft to people that never played, Mr. Souls. You got ran through by War Daddies. We actually were War Daddies. There's a difference. No shit, you don't know what it means. You never fucking played. I mean, it's not really hard, homie, to figure out who played and who didn't play. So, I don't know. But let's do some what's happening now before we take commercial break real quick. And Steve Kim joins us. The Korean Cosell himself. That's Smitty on the right. I'm not on that picture. But we have a what's happening now. Take a look at this shit. And elicit a response from the chat, please.
We carry the largest trans pride flag to ever be flown in a national park and unfurled it on the side of El Cap to prove a point that trans is natural. The Trump administration and transphobes would love to have you believe that being trans is unnatural, but species that can transition sexes can be found on every continent and in every ocean on planet Earth. So call it a protest. Call it a celebration. We are bringing elevation to liberation. They try to erase us from government websites and education systems and libraries. So we raise this flag higher than ever before so every trans person knows that they have people that love them in their corner. The people united will never be defeated.
Everybody bow your heads. Dear baby Jesus, we come together today to realize that what this man said, that trans are natural, is a fallacy and a lie, complete lie. Lord, let everyone know that he is lying. He has a mustache looking like he is right out of Happy Days, Lord. Mr. Cunningham. And listen, he looks like something right out of Mad TV. Please, Lord, address these people as having mental health issues. Please put them back in mental homes. Open up insane asylums. Please, ASAP 911. Please, Lord, open up insane asylums. We need to fix this, rectify this immediately, 911. We have a problem, Houston. And it starts with a pale writer who has put makeup on his whole body to look as pale as possible with a red mustache. And then, Lord, look at that picture. He looks like an absolute fucking monster. We have no idea what it is. We've never seen it before. It looks like it's come from the depths of hell, Lord. It looks like it's a fucking sea creature of some sort of mass proportions, Lord. It looks like it's a fucking unidentifiable human, Lord, and we know that to be made up humans. Lord, please eliminate all these motherfuckers from planet Earth. In your name, Jesus' name, we pray. Amen. I don't know what that is, homie, on the right. But if my daughter or somebody saw that thing, I would be running for my life. I don't know what it is. I would absolutely just eliminate it. I wish something else had happened when they were hanging the flag. I won't say it live, but since they went so high up, it would have been a tragedy if they would have had a slip and fall at the workplace. That would have been a 1,500-foot slip and fall that I don't believe anyone would be mourning today. I don't believe we'd be talking about this human in the same likes of a Jim Irsay. That's for fact. So I don't believe anyone would have really started off. By the way, this guy, it says gay on his name tag. Didn't realize that. Just saw that. Huh. I'm confused as to what this is, but it's not human. It's not human. And the advocation for this is what I don't get. I just don't get. And anyone that's okay with this is not okay with me. Let me just tell you. So you need to fucking get the fuck away from me as far as you can. This shit is not fake. Apparently these guys are like some Trump. Like they don't like Trump, so they're going out there doing this thing all over America. It's a fucking joke, homie. This is an absolute joke. Now they're fucking gaying up our park systems. God. This is Yellowstone, Bailey? Or Yosemite? Where the fuck is this? Homie.
Yeah, this is Yosemite National Park, coach.
Fuck, man. Sergeant fucking Slaughter, man. Fuck. It really is, man. Where the fuck's Iron Sheik at when you need him? Anyway, we're going to take a break. We'll be back in 4 minutes with Steve Kim on the other side. We got a lot to discuss, some boxing news, plus his interview with the great Jim Lampley yesterday, signing his book after he was on our show. So we'll be back in 4 minutes. Get a coffee, piss break, move a car, take a shit. Be back in 3. Peace.
Philadelphia 76er, young rookie star who had a pretty solid year until he got hurt, is opening up his own nail line. I think there's a video we can check out.
I am so excited to announce something I've been.
Hold on, homie. This really happened? I was fucking with you.
Oh, no, it's a real. Oh, no, it's a real thing. Oh, hold on. I don't. No bullshit. Are you playing around right now?
Are you playing with me?
No, either you doing good TV and you got me food, or you really didn't know.
Hold on, homie. No. You bullshit. Hold on. You're bullshitting me, homie.
Listen to the video.
Time out. No, I'm tell you why I'm not lying. Last year when Shaun King came on, this kid came on and he did like a nail promo.
Yeah.
He did like a thing in his fucking kitchen or something.
But he just 48 hours ago, maybe even less, said he was releasing a new nail line. So when you make that line during your rant with Caleb Williams, I thought you had saw this.
I can't make this. No, I did not see this.
Like on the Bible, like no bull, like no BS.
On everything I love, I never knew this. I thought this was old news. I just was brought up something that he did last year. I didn't know he really coming out with a fucking line. Show me, man.
Working on for a very long time now. Went to the lab and I actually created my own nail polish collection with Sally Hansen. It's crazy to even think that when I first started painting my nails that I'd be here with my own collection with colors that I made. Let's get into the colors and let me show you everything that I created. Obviously with the help of the Sally Hansen scientists. This collection is called MVP.
Hold on, homies. Pause. We have to address certain things that are said in this deal. Mm-hmm. We have a major problem, homie. We have a major masculinity problem in America. And athletes speaking about masculinity, athletes used to be the trump card. They used to be like, hey, be a man like me, play NBA, play NFL, play Major League Baseball. Now we got motherfuckers doing that one shit, that gay baseball thing that goes around. We did a commercial on
Savannah Bananas.
The bananas. The name is telling. And then you got men that are athletes. Tell me, it started with Magic's kid and Dwayne Wade, but it's starting to get ridiculous, homie. To be honest, let's be real. So let's take away keywords out of this thing right here. He said, first of all, when I started to paint my nails, we gotta be honest here, homie. We gotta start using and saying what these cats actually say out of their mouth. We're not wearing our journalistic card today, but I'm going to put it on real quick because that's what he said, homie. He said, Smitty, when I started to paint my nails, I never thought it would come to this. So first of all, let's start with the context. That's what he said first of all. Let's rewind it just a little bit. Take a listen.
Everything that I created, obviously with the help of the Sally Hansen scientists. This collection is called MVP, and it stands for Most Valuable Polish. First up, we have bucket.
Go back up before, right here.
My nails, that I'd be here.
Right there. I got to hear it again.
I think that when I first started painting my nails,
Let me hear it again.
think that when I first started painting my nails,
When I first started painting my nails. That's what's sticking in my head right now. I'm stuck with that right now, Smitty. God, I can't. Okay, let's move on now.
I'd be here with my own collection with colors that I made. Let's get into the colors and let me show you everything that I created. Obviously with the help of the Sally Hansen scientists. This collection is called...
She has a scientist to make nail polish. Got it. All right.
MVP, and it stands for Most Valuable Polish. First up,
MVP. It's going to be hard to trademark MVP, the actual acronym for it. I don't know how he'll do that. So
it could be MVPEE though, to make sure, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it could be a lot of shit. It could be gay, but let's take a look.
We have Bucket Blue. It literally says my name on the bottle. Got a little shimmer in it.
I can't do it, homie. I can't watch this cat hold it.
Come on, push through. We gotta watch the whole thing.
I can't watch him hold the thing like this, homie, with nail painted, homie. I can't do this.
Do you like the nail though? Like, no bullshit. Like did you do a good job?
Don't ask me that, homie. Don't ask me. You imagine my nails being painted? I'm holding the fucking polish like this, homie. Hey, well, fuck it. I'll go home tonight. I'll drink my yak and smoke my stick, and I'll get it back cracking.
Y'all see the hoodie? Hey, at the end of the day, I'm from that town. At the end of the day, I'm from that town. That's what we do. We might be down, but we ain't out. Perseverance at its finest. Clutchiness at its finest. When you thought you had us knocked out in the 12th round, we get back up, wipe our face off, brush the glove off, and we keep going. That's how the city do it. Pacers in 4. I'm from New York. I got the. I'm from New York. I'm from Uptown.
If Bailey would ask me if I wanted to put that in, I would have said no. I wouldn't have shown that shit at all. Hold on. Oh, shit. God damn it. You know what that shit rhymes with? Hey, they, may. Put a little fuel in the torch. Can't go anywhere without it. Okay, a couple announcements real quick. Monday, there's no show. Memorial Day. I'll be on the water. Shout out to Memorial Day. All the folks that are out there, there'll be no Monday show, number one. Number two, we'll have some good videos for you. But number two, and I'll drop some live shit on YouTube, by the way. Number two, real quick, I want to make an announcement. We have a very, very special segment coming up on this show, which will be every Friday. It'll discuss the week that just went by, and it'll discuss the week ahead. We have an insider, a lawyer extraordinaire that is actually in the Diddy case in court watching it with her very own eyes. She's literally in the courthouse every single day. Her name is Lauren Conlin. So go check her out on Twitter or X or whatever you call it, Instagram. Lauren Conlin is a reporter that is actually had been granted access and is in the Diddy trial. And she will be coming on the show live every Friday. She'll be on tomorrow. And we're going to make a complete segment in regarding what's going on with the Diddy case. So, since it's the biggest thing, probably since OJ, we're going to have an absolute real life reporter in the actual courthouse on this show. One of the only shows to get that act. So, shout out to Lauren. Shout out to her. We'll be having that on, and she'll be giving us updates every single Friday. So, tomorrow she'll be on for the first time, and you can ask some questions if you want. But I got a question. Why is Cassie not considered part of this? Why is she been why have the hands been wiped clean on her? One question I want to ask her. Why is she not an accomplice? Wasn't she with this motherfucker for 15 years? But no one's brought that up. I don't know why. Me and her were talking about that. I don't understand. Isn't she fucking with this motherfucker for 15 years? Your dumbass chose to be around this motherfucker for some reason. Didn't you get broke off? Oh, fucking weirdo. Listen, man. I ain't heard about no kids or babies yet, so I'm not going to be shocked when this motherfucker walks. I'm not. Because there's no kids involved yet. Now, if there's some trafficking shit and we find out something, we'll find out. But so far, it's a bunch of weirdo fucking creeps doing some weirdo creepy shit that is not illegal, by the way. Now, if they find all this other shit to be true, then fucking throw them away. But I'm just saying, I don't know, man. This whole RICO thing, I don't see where the RICO charge is still, Chris. I haven't really seen the RICO case involved in this. I'm trying to figure out why. It ain't. You're not going to get him dragging Cassie a life sentence. It's going to be an assault charge, and he'll get out, and he'll plea down and do it. There's no way you're holding him over, dragging her around the hotel room. That's not that's not the big deal here. I'm just saying. I don't know. We're going to ask her tomorrow and find out. But without further ado, we got our main man, the Korean co-star himself, co-host of Whitlock's Fearless, and the 3 Knockdown Rule, who happened to just interview Jim Lampley as we did. So he, on his book release signing, got to hear that and watch it. So go check out Steve. Follow him on X, on Instagram. And let's bring our main man in, the Korean co-star himself, Steve Kim, joins the show. Steve, what up? Good morning.
Gentlemen, where's Darnell? What happened to him? Oh, okay. Oh.
He had to work. He had a special thing at 5. He had to cover peanut butter. So let's dive into let's get it going. We gotta go right now. So I gotta ask you, we got a special guest on every Friday now, Lauren Conlin. She's actually a reporter inside the Diddy trial. So we're gonna do a special segment every week now. Do you know anything about this thing? Why is it a RICO charge? Is it a RICO case, or is it a freak off that a lot of grown folks seem to have been doing some swinging? And I haven't yet to see any kids involved. It's not like R. Kelly, right? It's a different deal. I'm curious.
I don't know if anyone got pissed on, but I'm not really following it. I'm getting bits and pieces. It seems to me the young lady, I think she was complicit. Now, whether it's a RICO charge, whether there's any real crimes, I don't know. To me, I think part of the reason why Diddy's guilty is that, let me be honest, he got away with a lot of debauchery. He was able to fulfill a lot of fantasies of his and other people. But women get treated differently, I would say easier. I mean, look at what's her face? Meg the Horsey. She set up a guy. Some poor guy's up in jail because someone shot each other. Meg the Horsey, whatever her name is. But so
Meg the Stallion.
I'm not really concerning myself that much with it. But a lot of debauchery.
And you know what, too? I don't like Diddy for one reason. He threw a dumbbell at one of my boys,
Well, UCLA.
Yeah, my boy Meat, who is actually back at UCLA now for his third term, Demetrius Martin. He is back, pride of Pasadena, John Muir High School. He's back at UCLA coaching the DBs. He's been everywhere from USC to UCLA to Oregon to fucking Michigan State to NFL. But he's back at UCLA, and we're going to actually go do a show live up there and interview him and Deshaun and a couple other buddies of mine that actually coach for me are on that staff. So we're going to go up there and do a show. But Diddy threw a dumbbell at Meat and at the trainer at the time, which was, what's his name, Losi or whatever, that was with the Jets.
With the Jet, he tripped somebody, right? That's the guy that tripped somebody on the sideline.
Tripped somebody on the sideline, yeah. He threw a dumbbell at him when Diddy's son was up there trying to play during that time. And I remember that because I just had left the office, and I'm like, what happened? And Diddy was in the weight room trying to fucking throw a dumbbell at somebody. And so that's why I think he's already guilty in my book.
Yeah, it seemed to me like Cassie was in on it. I mean, a couple that loves together, orgies together.
13 years. Aren't you an accomplice now?
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, a lot going on, Steve, in the news world. We'll see. Transgender activists are all over Yosemite. Now they're gaying up our Yosemite parks. I don't know. I know you saw that probably, but it's unfortunate. And then Jim Irsay. Any news on Jim Irsay? Did you know he was sick? Like, I talked to a buddy of mine who's a billionaire. He said, we don't tell people we're sick because the vultures come out and everyone tries to get their hand on the money. So I'm trying to figure out what happened here. They say they died in his sleep. Kind of fitting that Halliburton hits the game winner on the night that Jim Irsay passed away. But I had no idea. But I guess we wouldn't know he was sick.
2 years ago, I know he had some real issues. He used to lift weights when he was much younger. And I think it kind of wrecked his body, a lot of painkillers. He lived a hard, fast life. He got a lot out of life. Yeah. And, that's the one thing about lifting weights. I don't think you could do it forever. And then the impact of it, if you have to start taking painkillers and other things to numb yourself, that also has a real impact on your insides. Like when I work out, I don't lift free weights anymore. I learned my lesson last year. Last time I ever lifted a free weight, I said, forget, I'm just doing body weight exercises.
Why, you got hurt?
Well, okay, so this was Super Bowl week. Teofimo Lopez is fighting Jermaine Ortiz on that Thursday of Super Bowl. That's when you had the party. So me and my buddy Hugo, you met him. We went out to dinner. Remember?
Yeah.
We went out to that steakhouse, met your buddy that had the skull cap, or that Guardian cap, right? So the Mandalay Bay Fitness Center, I got to be honest, I'm impressed by what they have. They don't just have cardio equipment. They actually have free weights. So I look over, and instead of just going into 25s and 30s, they went all the way to 65 and 70, which for a hotel fitness center, that's pretty good because they usually cut it off at about 40. So I said, you know what? I'm going to work chest. So I did incline, decline, flat, and I decided to do 70s. And I said, you know what? I'm going to rep this out. So I was doing like high reps, 3 sets of 25. And I felt I was like, that's pretty good. I still kept most of my strength. I was doing a lot of bands at the time, the resistance bands. When I woke up the next morning, I opened my eyes and I went, oh boy. I mean, I love being sore because it's a sign of progress. Coach, I felt like I was run over by a bus. They backed up. My eyelids were sore. And I said, you know what? I'm going to hurt myself one day. So now basically, I would say 2/3 of my workout regimen, if not more, are just Mike Tyson push-ups. And if you've never done them, you should do them because it works out the whole body. It gets you sweating really quick. So I do Mike Tyson push-ups even as a warm-up. I do them in between exercises, and I'm probably in the best shape of my life. I can honestly say that.
Yeah, Steve, I'm a huge I oppose anyone that out there lifting their youngsters with free weights. I even the science still there. I don't care. The science has changed. Yeah, the science may have changed from static stretching to dynamic warm-up. Yeah, that science changed a long time ago. I haven't stretched anyone because the cheetah don't stretch to go get some pussy. But I just know this. No way in the world I'm putting my youngsters to, and it's still proven to stunt your growth. I don't give a fuck what they say. It stunts your growth, and it's not good for you. It's not good for you.
Personally, Coach, I think there's a time, probably about a 20-year stretch where weights, any type of resistance training that's really heavy is good for you. But there comes a point, late 40s and 50s, unless you're really into it, I would just go with body weight exercises, resistance bands, pull-ups, push-ups, things of that nature. Boxing is a really good workout in between. I do yoga twice a week, but the thing about the free weights was I was always afraid I was going to blow out my shoulder, some sort of rotator cuff injury or back. And I said, you know what? As I woke up that day, I was at the Mandalay Bay. I was like, you know what? I'm good. I'm never touching a free weight if I don't have to again.
Smitty said, he called in earlier and said this the only thing he lifts anymore. And it's basically the same thing, but it's dead weight. Take a look at this picture. This is kind of what he likes to lift. So if he can lift Tank DeMoss, I think it's the same thing as you lifting 300 pounds. But funny thing is, though, they just showed Irsay. Wasn't Irsay just squatting like 300 pounds like not too long ago?
He used to be like a bodybuilder or a power lifter back in his young days. If you ever watched those interviews in the 80s when he took over the Colts from his father, he was a big, muscular guy.
Yeah.
And
like
so,
friends with Schwarzenegger and shit too, right?
And
like,
if you're into that world, you might be taking substances that are not necessarily prescription or legal. And then what it does to your vertebrae, your back, your ligaments, your joints, you might take other things to make up for it. Now your body becomes very just like a toxic mix. And, so to me, once you hit 40-ish, my view is that no matter what shape you're in, you need to start looking at different forms of exercise.
Yeah, no doubt. Steve, we got a little bit of everything with you today since it's you and I for a minute. We got Devin Haney's hit list, your interview with Jim Lampley. We got Travis Hunter on the docket. Can't wait to dive into his announcement, engagement. Maybe him and Belichick getting married together. And then we got some Art Rooney talk. But I got to start with Devin Haney's hit list. What is this about right here? Can you explain this in depth at all to the audience?
I think what's happening is that him and his father are trying to campaign for a big lucrative fight because I think the market dried up after what happened at Times Square. Not only did he stink out the joint, Ryan Garcia lost. So all indications to me, and I'm going to ask around more specifically, I believe that rematch is not going to happen next. There's no market for it. It evaporated. So now Devin Haney, or specifically Bill, is trying to tell people, hey, we're still undefeated. We're still one of the best in the world, and you should like this no matter how much my son runs around the ring. So they're basically, in my view, casting the net saying, hey, anyone want to fight us? And Turkey Al-Sheikh, please pay us well. We'll face this guy. That's what I think's happening.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm curious to see how this thing unfolds. I just thought it was crazy. He's kind of more in the news for just this type of shit than anything else. I don't know. That's just what I see. But anyway, you interviewed Jim Lampley. He was doing his book deal. Is he on tour right now?
Well, no, that ended. That was actually 2 Saturdays ago.
Yeah, and now he's back home,
He
right?
went on a book tour, though. And we released that video. We cut it up. Our great people in Mexico edited that, put all the bells and whistles. I was there for about an hour, hour and a half. I hadn't seen Jim in person in about 3-4 years. I hadn't been in Wild Card in about a year or two because I really don't go to that gym anymore to work out. I go to 10 Goose, the home of Joe Goosen and Ricky Funes. But it was good to see him. We talked a little bit, had some private conversations, got some stuff, got some content for our YouTube channel and our social medias. And, Jim's in a good place. And so the book's doing well.
And I asked him personally the other day on the show, but is he going to get the nod to call this fight? This big time fight coming up that I asked him, and he said no one's got the nod yet. He goes, he would love to do it since all of his times covering these two guys, Crawford and Canelo.
It's safe to say that if this fight ends up coming to fruition, and there's still some big loose ends, they don't know where the fight's going to be. They don't know what network's going to televise it or broadcast it. But if all of that is tied together, I would think, based on what Jim has told me about, he even said my new employer, and I believe he's talking about Turkey Al-Sheikh, that he will be in the running to be a part of that broadcast crew.
Huh. So he kind of took something away, like right out of the Liv's playbook. He left the PGA to go to the Liv, kind of, huh?
The difference is, remember, Jim was at HBO. They shuttered their boxing program. I think he was on contract, so he couldn't do anything for a while. But once that ended, he was free. But for whatever reason, none of these other entities that were still doing boxing hired him. And he had told me when he was on with Mario and I the last few years, look, if someone wants to call, I still want to do boxing blow by blow. He says, I know my time's not forever, but I still have something left in the tank. And I think he showed that 3-4 weeks ago. He is still very, very good. One of the best ever at this. So it wasn't as if he was retired. Basically, he had moved from San Diego to North Carolina. I don't know if you know this, but he actually teaches classes at UNC. That's where he graduated from.
Yeah.
So, but he was waiting in the wings. He was in the bullpen warming up for the last 3, 4, 5 years.
Damn, that's crazy. Yeah, it's funny. He mentioned that he knew everything from Belichick's dad GA in North Carolina. Why Bill's back there? That's kind of his deal. That's his conspiracy. He thinks Bill went back to North Carolina to finalize his father's kind of regime run there. But it's gonna be interesting. Let's dive into some football, Steve. I gotta ask you. What's your take on Travis Hunter? Yesterday announced he's getting married. First of all, there was bad reports out there from fake media people that said she was 33. The girl's only like 23, I believe, a year older than him. So
they put 10 years on her, huh?
Yeah, put 10 years on her. I was like, shit. But awkward timing for me. If I'm him and his family, I'm like, let's focus on the main thing, keeping the main thing. Go get your fucking football thing done first. That's just me. Each his own. We'll see how it ends up. But right now, he's engaged.
I have a question. So which marriage do you think lasts longer? That one or Belichick and Air Jordan? Which one would you put your money on?
Oh, that's a hell of a poll question. Actually, It is now the poll question. So make sure everybody in the chat just made that the poll question. So, I don't know, man. I'm curious. I have to call Matt. I'm going to go with this one here because of the youth and both being similar proximity to each other when it comes to Social Security numbers. I don't know. 72, 24, 22, 23. I don't believe either one of them lasts very long, but I'm going to go with this one.
I wonder if Coach Prime has reached out to Travis Hunter, who he considers a surrogate son.
Yep.
And say, psst.
What are you doing?
Young fella.
What are you doing?
2 words. Yeah, Coach. Prenup. Hope you're well.
I got 3 words. Don't do it. That's what I would be calling.
They're in love. Come on. Jeez.
I know Belichick's in love too. Sean Salisbury's great. Sean Salisbury loves saying that.
Coach.
Every day, Sean Salisbury says, Bill and Air Jordan is in love, JB. They're in love. You got.
I hope those kids make it.
Yeah. Who, Belichick and his girl? Are you calling them kids or this
Yeah,
group?
I hope those kids make it.
Steve, I got to ask you before because my lead-in was about the tush push. And I had a good conversation, and I want to get your take on my take because your take on my take is very important to me on this show. Recite that, everybody. Now, I brought this up, and nobody seems to talk about it, but who the hell really wants to run tush push? Because the question that I'm getting, JB, I'm surprised you want it banned. I do want it banned because it's stupid. It's a rugby football play. It's not football, American style. But anyway, this is the reason I want it banned. And no one's talking about. I said to start the show, nobody runs it to everyone's question out there. JB, why don't everybody get good at it then? Because everybody doesn't have Jalen Hurts, who at the time was expendable before he won a Super Bowl. And now when he signs his next contract, I bet you that thing goes from 60% ran to 20% getting ran. And I'm just telling you, is Joe Burrow running it, Steve? No. Is Mahomes running it? No. Herbert, Stafford, Goff. I can go down the list. There's 32 teams. There's only probably, I know Josh Allen does a decent job at it, but he's also the freakiest nature quarterback in the league. And you got Jalen Hurts, who actually squats 600 behind the best O-line in football, who runs it for a reason.
Based on what you said then it's already going to lessen then. If you believe that Jalen Hurts' contract and his value to the team is so great,
it is.
Well, then in essence, it's getting banned internally then. Right?
Yeah, it is. It is. But here's the reason. Here's the thing I have. everyone that's okay with this being banned or not being banned, but I didn't hear anybody bitch about Steve. I'm going to onside right now. 22's coming right at you.
Yeah, I
so make sure I'm going to onside kick it. All right. I'm going to one bounce it right now at the 32-second mark. Thanks. Bye. Everyone's cool with that. Everyone was cool, Steve, with getting rid of the original kickoff and wedge breakers, but it's safety and fair play is literally what's on NFLs.com's website mission statement by Roger Goodell, and this isn't fair play, and it's not safety. And unless you change the snap count, Steve, so want to make it fair. Everything that you do on the tush push is on first sound, so I can time it up on defense. If you don't let me jump and you can't let me push my D lineman, put it on first sound. Or do what the onside kick does. Dictate and tell me, hey, we're going to run it. So guess what? I practice all week with a group of guys that are 335 pounds up front, and then I usher them in the game, Steve, because you told me you're going to run tush push. If we wanted to fair play, let's do it. But guess what Eagles said? You know why they're so successful? They run it no huddle, and they come up to the line and run it. Like, come on, man.
Well, they're good at it. I mean, Coach, here's the problem. If you ban it because one team is really good at it, that is a slippery slope, because then what's next?
Well, the Denver Broncos banned. Remember, what was the play they banned back in the day after they won the second Super Bowl? Remember they
play on the Broncos, really?
Yeah, the Broncos did
the chop block.
The chop block. Why would you?
That was kind of taboo to begin with.
That was Alex Gibbs' specialty. Right. That's why the inside zone used to cut back.
Right.
So, but it took them two. Don't be surprised they win another one and they ban it. I'm just telling you, this is how the NFL works. This is I guess the politics of it all.
There's a difference between a chop block and a cut block. Though a chop isn't a chop when one guy holds them up and the other guy comes.
Nah, that's a high low. That was always
the Niners. The Niners had a line coach named Bob McKittrick, who was famous for teaching that. And there was a game where Howie Long and a couple of other Raiders, they basically chased him up the tunnel because they wanted to kill him. If you ever talk to Howie Long, ask him about
that's a high low. But here's what it used. The legal side of it, Steve.
I know a chop is you're just chopping a guy, right? I mean,
but when you're good at it, like Alex Gibbs, what they used to do is this guy's engaged on the back shoulder, the other guy's coming, and this guy's trying to leave, but he's holding him for the other guy to cut his ass, and that's what. When they were real good at it though, and it looked good, and it was fucking nice. Terrell Davis will tell you.
Yeah, I mean, but. There's a cut block and there's a chop block. I get that, but
the high low outside coming in was the first problem when we had wideouts coming in to crack the safety.
That's a blind crack. I don't do that anymore.
No, see, that used to be great football. Yeah, that used to be good football to me. But now, but they banned that fucking outside in rule. They called it outside in back, I don't know, years ago. But I actually think football was great when it was there. I'm just going to be honest. That's what football was. And by the way, why is there way more injuries now than there was then?
Well, let's see. They're not hitting. They're not developing callus. They don't tackle.
Remember, Steve? Crack back, crack. We used to communicate. No football. Like, it was like different to be out there.
Well, not only that, look, when you don't make these guys play any preseason games, you're actually creating more injuries. I think I've told you this story, but Eric Dickerson does a Monday afternoon show with Fred Rogan and Rodney Peete every Monday. Okay, and it's really good, especially as someone that idolized Eric Dickerson. And he said about 2 years ago, he goes, as a running back, guys, if you did not allow me to play at least 3/4 of the preseason, I was not ready to play real tackle football, because you are now asking us to basically go from 0 to 100 like that. He goes, I needed to play at least 3/4 of a game going into week 1, or I just would not be ready. You got to toughen up your body to a certain degree. Well, it's the same thing in boxing. All these fighters always complain about ring rust. I couldn't get started. My time. Right, because you fight every 10 months. What do you think is going to happen? Then because you're never fighting enough, you're putting on 35, 40 pounds, and what are you doing all camp? You're trying to lose weight. That's all you're doing. You're turning it into a fat camp. So in the goal of trying to make things easier, we make them harder. The road to hell is paved with good intentions.
No doubt about it. I wanted to show you something real quick. Can we show the Brock Purdy thing, Bailey? This is why beta males started to come into existence. And this is why player empowerment started to take over. But take a listen to what Brock Purdy has to say about his significant other.
Signed this. I'm going to buy this for my wife, my parents, even yourself. Like, is it a big purchase or something? Maybe it's something small that now you can actually go get.
Man, we're still thinking about some stuff. But I don't know. I've always been a big fishing advocate, so I was telling my wife, and she's annoyed with me, but I'll say it. But I'd like to get a bass boat one day. So yeah, that'll be my first big purchase. Anyways, thanks, guys.
He has to clear it with his wife. He just made 7th highest contract ever. He's got to ask his wife, who I'm sure is a great, I don't know, Iowan. I don't know where she's from. But listen, I'd be damned if I'm asking anybody. That's why you don't get married. I don't understand.
I was just joking. I mean, because I think Brock Purdy, I know he's a good young Christian guy, very solid individual. Let's say he bought the Love Boat. Let's say he bought the new version of the Titanic or the SS Minnow, but don't lose it. And if wife questioned him, I'd be like, look, I'm the one taking the shots in my back, okay? I'm the one throwing the bang-aid. You just do what you do. Seriously. Michael Irvin had one of the greatest quotes ever when he talked about his money. He said, look, that first contract I got was for my family and everyone else, and for Sandy, my wife. He goes, second contract, that is for me. That is for me. That's as honest as you can get. He said, I took care of everybody in my first contract. And when I got injured, I felt like, oh, my God, this is bad because 25, 30 people rely on me. He got injured his first 2 years, and people didn't know if he was going to become the playmaker. But when he started getting some real money, and when he signed his other contract, I think it was 92 or 93, I read an article where he said, okay, now I can enjoy this money that I earned. So,
yeah,
I don't know.
Agree. Hey, let me ask something real quick. Art Rooney's in the news, obviously, not for signing Aaron Rodgers, unfortunately. That's not the news. But the news is that he's going to stay committed, Steve, which I know you're super high on and love. You'll love this. He's going to stay committed to DEI and diversity efforts and will not back down from the team's DEI efforts, is what he said right here. In a quote. Well, listen, I don't know. Aaron Rodgers just went on Joe Rogan and blasted out everybody blasting Elon Musk. So I think their values are probably a little different as far as political views. But I guess you say that. I don't know. I love Mike Tomlin to death. I don't even believe Mike Tomlin likes it, by the way, from everything that I know. So it's very interesting that you're seeing these still from the owners, and the owners control Roger Goodell, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, an individual team can hire whoever they want. But when he means DEI, does that mean just hiring more women? Because, look, if that meant, look, we're going to hire more former players, and a lot of them are going to be black who bled on the field, I'm like, you know what, I'm kind of for that. But if it's about hiring a bunch of females who have never played football, never liked football, but you're jumping them ahead of real football people and former players, I'd be like, nah. But if that meant hiring more former players who are black, some of them at least, I'd be like, you know what, that's okay.
Hey, me and my buddy just had the same conversation. Why aren't we hiring more former players, which is
Right.
the league is 69% black anyways? Why aren't we hiring more black players that came from the field? If you're saying they're so good in Deion Sanders and all these other cases, which we've seen epic failures by Mike Singletary and others, and I'm not calling about color, I'm just talking about former players. Former players are not good coaches for the most part. But
Coach, did you see that video, that Browns executive, that female, talking about one of their draft choices? And I was like, oh, God. Oh, my God.
Listen,
she knows less than the average person that does a NFL fantasy draft.
It's a joke.
August.
Bailey, if you can find that again, show that again. I would love to see that again. But here's the thing.
I wouldn't.
I want to know why players aren't being hired. Like, we've asked this question for a long time. If it's such DEI and you're so into equity and keeping it all in-house, and this is an NFL, you know why it is, Steve? Because there's a reason why they cut off your tenure, why they changed the rule. Because there's a reason, if you look into it, and Tank Johnson and other players that played at a high level, Eric Weddle will tell you, there's a reason why I needed 1 game, or I needed 6 games, or I needed 5 games to complete my, to get my tenure, which used to be 3 years, or that's gone up to 4 and all this stuff, so I can get my lifelong benefits package from the NFL. They'll cut you off. That's a real thing. They won't let you play your last game to get to equal that. So, come on, man. This is a joke. It's a slap in everybody's face that believes that that's what they're really doing. They're not.
You look at a guy like Ozzie Newsome, maybe certainly on the Mount Rushmore of general managers in National Football League history, in my view. Probably him and Jerry West are the 2 best former players that became executives, certainly on that Mount Rushmore. But Ozzie Newsome literally began as a grunt. He was an intern, basically.
Yep.
And he had to set up chairs. He had to get lunch. He was picking up players. And then he had the area scout. Bill Belichick actually told him how to write a scouting report to the way they wanted it in that Brown organization. I mean, he literally had to learn from the ground floor up, traveling to places to see some Division III player that ran a good 40. You cannot tell me that a lot of these females getting these high-ranking jobs ever did what Ozzie Newsome had to do the first 7-8 years post-football.
There's another guy that no one talks about that was on the same staff with Ozzie, and that guy, and you remember this name, but he actually was, I've been around him for a long, long time at Compton College. He's a Compton College legend, Art Perkins.
Really?
Art Perkins played in the league, was one of the big backs. Him and another good friend of mine that played for the Chargers for a long, long time, an underrated running back, a big-time Chuck Muncie. But anyway,
Chuck, he used to wear glasses on the field.
Yeah, those two were kind of the first of their kind as far as the big back. But Art Perkins worked as Ozzie's assistant for years on those Super Bowl runs and building that Baltimore team. But that he was the same way from the ground, JUCO, D1, G8, worked his way up. And that's why I like Aaron Glenn. That's why I like some of these guys that have gone the way. Like Flores getting blackballed right now. We'll see if it continues. We'll see if he gets another job. But he's a hell of a coach. But I don't think people realize how good of a coach Flores is. But, those guys actually took the steps. A lot of these guys act now. They just want to be placed in there because, I deserve it. I'm DEI. Nah, it's bullshit. Aaron Glenn won't tell you he went this DEI. He's worked his way up. So I don't know. I would like to see it too, but it is what it is. We're gonna figure it out. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. But I wanted to show you something real quick because I wanted to talk about player empowerment with you and what it's doing to American sports. I think it's ruining it. But Juan Soto was kind of demoted for the Mets. Big time name, big time moneymaker, big time player, and he got in a little slump. And the manager said, "You know what? I don't care who you are. I'm gonna move you around in the lineup." And this is how he repaid his salary. He didn't take a swing, Steve. He refused to take a swing to show the manager how fucking important this guy is. This is what player empowerment is done to professional sports, especially in America. It is ruining the sport, in my opinion. There's no hierarchy, and hierarchy used to matter.
Was he the guy that Cadillac'd on that shot Fenway Park, thought it was a home run, and it ended up being a single?
Yeah, I believe he was.
Okay, I'm not exactly Mr. Baseball anymore, but look, player empowerment. You give them an inch, they'll take 100 yards. But I think some of the issue stems from the media is afraid to confront these guys.
Why isn't he being blasted by Stephen A today?
I actually saw someone say about when he Cadillac'd that longest single in baseball history. Well, it's 162 games. What do you expect him to hustle all the time? If it's too much to ask that you actually get a double on a ball that hits the top of the fence in left field, yeah, that's a bit of an issue. That is a bit of an issue. And by the way, I think most real ball players would be like, "Hey, asshole, get to second."
Why is it somebody fighting his ass in the locker room? See, that's the problem. The jersey swap era has allowed our own teammates to say, "Oh man, Juan got $750 million. He almost got $1 billion, Steve. $750 million to do that shit."
Well, Coach, you talk about policing teammates. There's a famous story is I think it was Deion Sanders in '89 was with the Yankees, and they're playing the White Sox. It's this big pop-up. So instead of just running and jogging around first, which we're all supposed to do, Deion just sits there looking at it in the batter's box, and Carlton Fisk, crusty old bastard, great ball player, he goes, "Hey, start running. What are you doing?" Because he broke the code. And Deion goes, "Yo, man, them slave days is over." Okay.
Yeah, I remember that shit. Like,
okay.
let me ask you this. The manager will be fired, and that's what people don't want to talk about. He's going to get fired now because this cat just showed his manager up in front of fucking everybody, and nobody's going to say nothing, but they'll end up firing his ass in the next, I don't know. Who knows?
And the other thing is, Coach, if he benches him, then the GM will say, "Hey, you know we're paying him a lot. Get his ass out there." But here's the reality, though, and I've been told this by people that work in baseball. Managers don't manage nearly as much as you think they do, Coach. They're all taking orders off the analytics. I actually know someone in management. They say, "Steve, I'm just telling you."
Brett Boone told us that. Brett Boone just told us
all
that.
of these things are kind of like, okay, in this situation, there's no human feel. Like the days of Tommy Lasorda just having a gut feel that Kirk Gibson should come up with one leg. Because that's the guy that would not be allowed, I don't think.
Yeah, you're right. And Kershaw being yanked when he's perfect through 6, and because of fatigue, he's gonna get yanked. Nah, it's all bullshit. That's why Roberts lost that other Super Bowl, in my opinion.
I mean, Tommy Lasorda, I remember growing up, it was Game 3 of the '81 World Series. He let Fernando Valenzuela throw over 150 pitches in one game. And the Dodgers needed to have it. We were down 2-0. It was the games at Dodger Stadium. Say hits a home run early. But Fernando just didn't have his great stuff, but he was gutty. And I think the Dodgers won 5-4 or 6-5. And Lasorda comes out to the bullpen or to the mound in 8th or 9th inning. And he's like, "All right, that's it for Fernando." Mike Scioscia's out there, and they're kind of having a discussion. And Fernando and Mike basically said, "We're going to finish this. Let us have it. We can do this." And Lasorda goes, "Okay, you're Mike." If that happened today, Lasorda would be fired on the spot. It would not be allowed.
No doubt. Steve, before you get out of here, Washington Commanders, whatever the fuck they're called, owner Marjorie Harris said that the Commanders are now America's team. I got a video for you to get a click at. Get a look at this shit.
We have so much to look forward to. And look, the Commanders are America's team. And so what better place to have the NFL draft than in the mall?
How is America's team the team that changed their name? I'm confused as shit. Well, why aren't they the Redskins? Because I don't know any.
Is she the main owner? Is she the one that took over for Daniel Snyder?
Yeah, yeah, and then the collaboration of Magic Johnson and all these others, But yeah, she's the deal.
Where have you gone, Jack Kent Cook? Good
no shit. And where is Joe Gibbs? This thing right here. By the way, I don't know one Indian that doesn't want the commander's name gone.
No, I'm with you. Look,
they want the Redskins.
They're a good young team, but America's team, I know people are going to hate to hear this because it's not based on how good they are. It'll always be the Dallas Cowboys for whatever reason.
Why isn't the other owner, the majority owner, what's his name, Harris? Why isn't he talking? I'm confused. Is this DEI?
We're going with the optics again.
Because isn't Josh Harris the majority owner, I believe?
I don't know. Is he the GM? I don't really know the hierarchy of the Washington franchise. I
don't know.
Yeah.
I think Josh Harris is. And then, but it makes sense. We all know who Magic's son, or whoever is. So it makes sense. Are you on Whitlock today?
I am on Whitlock. We're going to be talking about, I think the WNBA, their media keeps lying about stuff. Fatigue, man. A lot of fatigue on that.
Were you on yesterday with Marcellus?
No, Marcellus was by himself. You got to clear the lane for Big Marcellus.
I didn't see it.
He dropped a freestyle diss on Ryan Clark.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, you got to watch. It was good. It was good. Real good.
Was it? Did he call out Ryan Clark?
Well, they talked about it. Yes.
Bailey, you got to find me the picture before Steve leaves. You got to find the picture before Steve leaves. DMV living. Shut up. I choked the shit out of Magic Johnson. But listen, he posted this tweet that I don't know if there's been more of a cringe-worthy tweet ever addressing the fact that Marcellus called his ass out. You know damn well Ryan Clark was hoping Marcellus didn't know the truth, that we all kind of knew, because I've had my own beef with Ryan Clark. Marcellus obviously has one. We knew you had a white baby mama, Ryan. We were waiting for you to say it.
I didn't know that, to be honest with you.
Huh?
I honestly did not know that.
And
by the way, but other people exposed it too. Like my guy Tommy Sotomayor. Shout out to Tommy, YouTube legend. Very honest, very provocative, very intelligent guy. Tommy's all over it. Tommy Sotomayor. I've been on his show a few times. He's hilarious.
Bailey, you got that Ryan Clark video picture? He's finding it. So basically, he came out and he really didn't own up to anything, which I'm all right with it, because I'm not gonna. But seriously, that's your take? I have a beautiful biracial daughter. This is the most cringe-worthy post that I've ever seen in my life. He got called out, and he was like, "Oh man, people knew this." And
I have a question though, Coach, and I'm not making any judgments. I just want some facts here. Was that child reared during his relationship with his current wife?
Yeah, I don't know, but if
that's what I'd like to know.
But I just want to know, doesn't it go against exactly what he said though to RG3? Like, if he did marry this woman and raise his daughter with this woman, is he not allowed to talk about any black issues anymore? Because that's what he said RG3 couldn't do, right? I'm curious. And why does Jamil Hill look like the crackhead on Friday?
Oh, come on. Would you stop? You don't have to do that.
I mean, by the way, her son was a great player here in LA, by the way, quarterback. I think he went to the
Brad Kaya.
Yeah.
That's Angela Means. She looks nothing like Angela Means. I know Angela, by the way.
Yeah, she looks like Angela.
No, she does not. No, she does not. And by the way, Angela is a very nice person.
Bye, Felicia.
Brad. In fact, I still have lunch with Brad Kaya Sr. Okay. By the way, Brad Kaya is now in the Hollywood industry. He is going to be doing some writing, moving up the chain, and he's actually working on a football show, like a scripted football show. So I gave him a copy of North Dallas 40. Coach, I've been reading this book. It's hilarious. It is one of the most raw, provocative, cynical, funny, insightful books I have ever read. I'm reading it one chapter at a time because it's basically a 7 or 8 day look into the week of a football player. And he changed some of the names, but I could already figure out who he's talking about in real life. Everyone that's in football or wants to get into screenwriting should read it. It's a hilarious book. I'm just laughing my ass off in the office at times, just rereading certain chapters. He's like, this one time, I guess he was dating a lesbian and he didn't know. And some girl said, "Well, I was worried about you because you're dating a lesbian." And the character, Peter Elliott, goes, "I mean, I didn't know she was a lesbian. I just thought she was on her period for 6 weeks." I mean, just lines like that throughout the book.
I miss good old just flat out lesbians. I just miss that era. I miss that era. I miss that. The made up human now. This whole thing, Steve, Bailey, show Steve as he exits here this picture of the new Yosemite National Forest representative. Show this picture of this person. I just miss lesbians. I really do. And I got a good question for you. Brian Case wanted to ask D. Jones and all the brothers in the chat. Brian Case is a Michigan guy. He's a white guy married to a black woman, has some mixed kids.
Jesus.
Come on now. This is what I miss. See, this is what I miss. But Steve, Brian Case asked D. Jones a good question. What does it make him married to a black woman and having biracial kids? If a woman married to a black man is milk, what is he? Brian, what do you consider yourself, Brian? I'm curious. What did D. Jones say? Horchata?
Someone brought this up on Twitter. I wish I could give them credit. Certain people like Ryan Clark are almost disqualifying RG3 from his blackhood.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because he married a white wife, right? Meanwhile, these are the same people that endorse Kamala Harris for president, despite her being a milk woman.
Thank you.
Just saying. Anyway.
Is this Cardi B on the podium for Kamala? That's how you guys endorsed, by the way. That was who you guys endorsed, but now it's okay. Anyway, Steve, enjoy Whitlock. What do you got this weekend? Anything?
I got to watch some boxing, probably go to 10 Goose, hit a heavy bag, pretend to exercise. And then I think I'm having lunch with Larry Merchant tomorrow. Have that once a month, see what's going on with old Larry, ask him a few questions about the game of boxing. And then come June, we're almost on June, I start researching for the upcoming college football season. All the rosters are set. We know who's on the team. The portal is basically over, technically. So I'm going to start doing my research, looking ahead. By the way, I'm going to tweet this later. I watched the 1995 Nebraska highlight film last night because it came up on my YouTube thing. I got to tell you, Tommy Frazier's actually, I know I call him one of the greatest all-time quarterbacks ever. He's in my Mount Rushmore. I've actually underrated him. He could play, just looking at him throw, he could play right now in a modern-day spread, and if you included the RPO, the read option, and design quarterback runs, he would absolutely be a Heisman caliber guy. And then he was strong. He was fast. He's better than Tim Tebow. I'll say it right now. He was a better all-around quarterback than Tim Tebow. And everyone says he's the greatest.
It's definitely in my top 3 teams of all time. Let me ask you this. How many quarterbacks, and you got to go, how many quarterbacks missed the window? Because I put him in there. I also put Charlie Ward in there. I think those guys
Ward
missed
was
the window.
Revolutionary in terms of the up-tempo.
Because he could actually throw it and spin it.
Yeah, and look, they created that offense because they were losing by 2-3 touchdowns late in the fourth against Georgia Tech. And so Bobby Bowden said to Mark Richt and Brad Scott, he goes, guys, we're running out of time. And they just said, shotgun spread, hurry up. They actually did not run the fast break till Charlie Ward, right? And though that began a great run for him. See, Joe Burrow had one great year. I don't know if he makes it, but for that 1 year, he's probably the greatest ever, right? But Tebow has to be given credit because quarterback is about leading and running that system. But I say if you have Tebow, you can't leave out Tommy Frazier. And I didn't know this because I was watching the highlight film. Tommy Frazier tried to get a medical waiver for the 94 season when he got a blood clot. So if he would have gotten that waiver and would have been able to play in 96, I think they would have won it in 96. He nearly won 4 national titles, if you really think about it. 93, terrible officiating against Florida State. 94, they beat Miami to go number 1. They blew out Florida and one of the best teams I've ever seen in 95. In 96, even with Scott Frost, they were still a top 5 team for most of that year. Tommy Frazier, I actually, for as much as I think about him, I'm watching this going, man, you could actually run a modern-day spread. He would have been a lot like, I think, Lamar Jackson, but with a more natural throwing motion.
I'm still mad the 93 year when UCLA should have fucking beat Nebraska. They lost,
They did. They blew that game. That's the game Skip Hicks ran wild, but they kept having those penalties.
They lose by 1 or 2? 14?
1 at the Rose Bowl. It was early in the year. I remember that. Skip Hicks had a big game.
14-13. 14-13.
Something like that, yeah.
Fuck. Yeah. I'm still mad at that. But anyway, Steve, enjoy the weekend.
We'll talk, brother.
If you ain't doing nothing, come out to the boat.
I'll try. We'll talk, brother.
Later. Peace. Steve Kim, everybody. Go follow him. Go watch him on Whitlock Fearless here in a second. Fuck, man. UCLA had Nebraska that game. I remember watching that game, 93. I was a senior in high school. They had them down they had them beat the whole game. They actually dominated that game if you go back and watch it. UCLA was loaded that year. They had a lot of fucking NFL talent as well. So shout out to Steve Kim. Pound that like, subscribe, become a member if you're not one. It is Free Game Friday. Tomorrow, like I said, we got a insider right in the Diddy case, the trial. We're going to show it. We're going to have it. Can't wait to get the tea, as Yo would say, get the tea on the Diddy trial. So we'll see. Chris, tune in because I know Chris follows that shit really well and in depth. So we'll see what happens there. But a lot going on in the world of sports. Bailey, what is that? I want to see this. I want to see the route runner real quick. I want to see this. Who's throwing it? With the flags that are hanging, it looks like she's in France or something, probably a foreigner. I don't know. Who's throwing the ball? Is this the route god or what's the guy's name that just went to jail for doing some crooked shit? Who's the receiver coach guy? I want to know who's throwing the ball. We got to stop talking about who's throwing this ball. Can anybody tell me? Can we see the quarterback? I see every flag transfer. I see every fucking flag. So I don't know where she's at. Maybe an international workout deal. I don't know idea. Who's throwing the ball? There we go. Is it a guy? Let me see. Is it Uncle Rico? Let me see. Go back. Who is that? Yep, it's a dude. At least it's a guy throwing. Nick Capo. She went and break my ankles. See, that's where you're confused at again. I think we're confused as to who plays football and who played it in the manner that I played it. I would grab her by the ponytail and literally slam her fucking head to the ground. She wouldn't even get off the line of scrimmage. See, that's the macro. See, you're not thinking about anything. Stop. Stop. Stop it. You guys are fucking enamored by the dumb shit that you see. Fuck. White moms, man. I tell you. White fucking moms, man. Look at the owner for the fucking Washington Commanders. What is she? White mom. Who's the mom of this lady? Girl. White mom. Guess what the common denominator is lately? White moms. Take a commercial break. We'll be right back in 4 minutes. Fuck. Hey, well, fuck it. I'll go home tonight. I'll drink my yak and smoke my stick, and I'll get it back cracking. Here, this is the infamous one of the palm trees that Ash ate. Can't fucking believe you. See this fucking dog? You see this? Who just eats a whole fucking palm tree, man? You guys are fucking shitting. This fucking unearthed you, motherfucker. Ate the whole fucking thing. Like, who eats a whole fucking palm tree? Like, you fucking shitting me? Are you fucking shitting me? Now, let's shake now. Who did it? I'm gonna look at the fucking camera. Who fucking did it? Sit down. Sit down. Sit. Sit down. Now, do we understand each other? Excuse me. There is no more fucking up palm trees. I'm tired of spending all this money, and now I've created a whole fucking barricade for you. So I don't want to have to dig this bitch out. I'm fucking dead. I'm old. My back hurts. I'm fucking stiff as a porn dick. Come here. Sit down. Sit down. Boy, if you don't sit your ass down. Now, you come over here with me. Come on. Here's what I had to do to fucking stop you. And I got a better, beautiful, bigger tree. So now we are shitting in tall grass. Replanted it, bitch. Soiled it up. Put a little trellis in here. put a bunch of fucking stones, look like Stonehenge around this bitch. And now, Ash, are you gonna fucking try to dig this bitch out? Are you gonna do this? Are you gonna do this again?
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now is a man who spoke to every single NCAA college football 2025 team seemingly on the internet. From Last Chance U, national champion, Coach JB.
Yeah, Coach!
What's up, gentlemen? Coach, just great car, great stick. Thank you for pulling off to the side of the road. Hope you don't get killed here. Honestly, side of the road, LA, I assume, that's not necessarily the safest place on earth. So we'll make this quick. How do you feel about all of these new coaches now in this NCAA college football 2025 game using your speeches to motivate these boys from one side of the country to the other, Coach?
I feel broke.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. Can I get like a royalty or something? Like, Netflix already screwed me. I'm getting screwed by EA Sports now too? Like, holy shit. I hit him up. I reached out to him like, hey, trying to be cordial and nice. I'm a nice guy, you know me.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, EA Sports, maybe I can actually be your video guy, the actual do a real video instead of using my name, image, and likeness.
Oh, shit.
And maybe I can get a little piece of the pie, but nah, it's all right. Just keep sharing my 500 million views of it.
I don't mean to laugh at you, but obviously you are a hilarious, miserable person, and this is kind of this is how it goes.
Hey, Pat, I was actually chilling. My back went out yesterday, so I didn't even do my show today. So I just left my chiropractor, and I'm waiting on this damn cigar company to open. They're late, of course. I mean, come on.
Shit. Okay, so life is good. Last question for me, because I know the last time we talked to you, you had not watched the Netflix series Last Chance U. You said that. You said, I've not watched it, but obviously you've heard from everybody. Now, do you see some clips that come across your way? You're like, I don't remember saying that. And then all of a sudden, I killed that. And do you judge your clips whenever you see them? You're like, I murdered that one.
Nah. A broad came over to the house the other day, and I didn't really want to watch Netflix with her and chill. But she wanted to watch the show. We watched one episode. Okay. And I'm like, I can't watch this. Okay. And she was like, oh my God. I'm like, I don't want to watch this. It was the first scene of the cow scene or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, they only made about $4 billion off my name on this shit. I'm not watching Netflix either. So I'm spiteful right now, Pat. I don't want to watch Netflix. I don't want to watch EA Sports video game. I'm like, man, and I can't even get 40,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel.
Well, you're going to the moon. We appreciate the hell out of you, Coach. Hopefully it'll get figured out, and we know the Netflix and chill thing, what that leads to. Bad backs, chiropractors. We appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach JB.
Yeah, Coach.
We are back in the building. Truth Telling Thursday. Pound that like, subscribe, become a member today. We got NBA Insider, Athlon Sports, a guy that's worked in the NBA for over 25 years, covering guys like Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, etc., who's going to have some great insight for us in these NBA playoffs. Shaun Deainy will join us here, Athlon Sports, in a few minutes. Pound that like. If you're not a member, become one. So let's dive into it. Let me move this around real quick. Rio said this show is ass without Smitty. I'm going to keep it 100. It's funny how people talk. Without Smitty, everyone loves it. With Smitty, everyone hates it. It's funny how people are. It's funny how people are. I told y'all, Smitty makes the show. You got to have a band. Why do you think I like Smitty? Yeah. If I didn't like him, how many people have you seen me get rid of? Don't you think I would have made a decision by now if it didn't work? As much as everybody says, we hate Smitty, you actually like Smitty because You hate him so much, you like him. You're just not very smart. See, Mike Bundy's here for the team. No matter who's on the show, Mike Bundy's here. That's the crazy part. But anyway, I'm glad you're here watching. Smitty will be back tomorrow. And then I think I'm going to barbecue one of these days. I got to figure out my days on the yacht. I got to figure my days on the yacht real quick. I got to figure out my days. But I wanted to show you something real quick. Bailey, did you get those texts I sent you? There's a video of Ruben again, almost committing an epic fail.
I don't like you getting out like this. Why?
He didn't break his other leg.
Oh. You can't?
Yeah, I can.
Ooh! Oh!
There's another one too, babe, if you find it. There's another one. Look at this shit.
Hey, what's going on here?
Ruben!
Oh, fuck.
What?
I can't even get up.
Why? Why?
Why?
Yeah. That's it right there. It's over. Bitch, get up. You didn't get rocked.
Oh.
Woke you up.
Look at this big ass mermaid right here.
Mermaid? Are we getting pushed into the rocks?
The anchor came up, so I was getting pushed. Biggest waste for money, a boat. Is that English? Biggest waste of money? Biggest waste for money, a boat? I don't know. Why do people care? I'm confused why you give a fuck what I spend money on. Ruben's had like 7 epic fails on the water. It is what it is. I don't know. But I love the yacht. Now I got a new water toy, the jet ski. It's out there. Crispy white on white. Goes with the truck. Perfect match. Slapdick's already on there. Airbrushed. And I'm going to be on that bitch this weekend. Getting used to the new toy I have. The 320 horsepower Yamaha VX. God damn. Unbelievable. I couldn't have just got a shitty one. I had to go get the best one. And it's big. It's fucking controls. We're going to see. D. Jones, I don't wear life vests. But the Coast Guard did pull me over and said, where's your life vest? I already said, and I said, hey, I'm just pulling it in. So, but it'll be good. I'll be doing 70 out there this weekend. We'll see. Chris, Lucy, Gok, Leah, all you guys are welcome to come out, get on jet ski. Come on out. Let's dive into some Ohtani news. I got some Ohtani news. The betting investigator of him resigns. I don't know if you saw this. Why is the lead prosecutor of Shohei Ohtani resigning? I don't know why this is. You guys need to bring that up. I have no idea. But damn, Ohtani, you carry some weight. He carries some weight. Ohtani's paying off everybody. Knicks cover 8. Motherfucker act like he really don't know English. Yeah, reunion on the water. Lucy, come on out. You guys come on out. We'll go on the yacht. Chill. You know what I am thinking about, though, for the most loyal fan base right here, the Slap Nation. I'm thinking about doing something for 4th of July because I'm being requested by all my friends. Man, let me get a spot on the yacht. Go on the water. So everybody from SoCal, if you know anything about Long Beach does a 4th of July fireworks show that's really unbelievable. Plus, it's huge barbecue, million people out on the beach, and you got to get there early, like 3 a.m. if you want to get a barbecue set up. But anyway, you go out there, and 4th of July, Steven Spielberg puts out this yacht, his company, his family, his people, and spends like, I believe, $1.5 million a year on 4th of July fireworks off this huge barge they roll out and put it right in the middle of the water. But Long Beach, to many Southern California natives, is the best 4th of July party in America. It's unbelievable, right on the water. And I didn't even think about it because I used to live there forever, so I go down there and watch it. Now I'm thinking, damn, I'm gonna be on the water watching this thing. And I forgot about it, and everybody realized, JB, I gotta get on the yacht. Let me reserve a spot. So I wouldn't charge $10K to my loyal fans, like $9,800. Like $9,800 or something. I wouldn't charge that much, man. But I am thinking about doing something for the loyal fans. I don't know. Go out on the yacht, smoke a stick, drink it up. D Jones, DMV, y'all come out. Make great content. DMV, D Jones, you motherfucker come out. Post up on the yacht. I got the barbecue grill out there. I'll grill it up. Shit. I'm down. Thinking about it, though. Seriously. Thinking about doing something. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Shaun Deainy, Athlon Sports will join us in here about 10 minutes. Cam Lowe's in the building. Cam, hey, come out, Cam. You in Vegas, though. You in Vegas. You in that hot-ass Vegas already. By the way, yeah, Chris, great topic. Klarna. Klarna is like this finance company, apparently, that you can finance fucking, I don't know, fucking the dumbest shit. And apparently they're going bankrupt, Chris. Chris, I don't know if you know, they're going bankrupt because everybody that got Klarna to fucking pull up at the goddamn, what is that shit? The fucking, what's that country shit out here? What is that shit out here that they do every year? The rodeo shit or whatever? The fuck is that thing called out here? Chris, you know, the fucking huge concert. What's the big concert they had last month out here in Stagecoach? There you go, D-Jock. Everybody that got Klarna to get Stagecoach tickets at Coachella didn't pay it back. Shocker. Are you shocked? Well, they're going bankrupt. So Klarna, you were good while it lasted. I don't get Klarna. I don't get how you make money on Klarna. I saw how it operates. How do you make money on Klarna? So you don't have to pay no interest in the first, 3 months, pay it off or whatever? Is that how it works? How do they make money? I'm confused. Don't know. Don't understand it. Don't understand it. I don't get it. Never heard of it. I don't know. We'll see. Shout out to Steve Kim for hopping on. Tomorrow's Free Game Friday. Shout out to the Knicks-Pacers game that made everyone interested in NBA again. The NBA is trash. It is dying in front of our very eyes. So we'll see. Shout out to all the hockey playoff people out there. And shout out to Kid Cudi for popping up on the Diddy trial smoking a cigarette. He pulled up smoking a cigarette today as he enters the trial. And it's going to be very interesting, man. Going to be very interesting as to what's going on. The world is a crazy place right now. I want to look up something real quick. NBA Game 2, Timberwolves Thunders tonight. BetUS has those odds that I'm going to bet right now. Let's see. I'm going to take man, I took the fucking T-Wolves the other day to cover 7. And they got absolutely fucking mollywopped. I figure they'll cover tonight. They have to, right? Again, it's at plus 7.5. Can they cover in OKC? It's a fucking tricky line. I'm going to bet they do today. I'm going to do it again. Scared money don't make money. I'm going to take the T-Wolves plus 7.5 on BetUS. Head on over to today. Use a promo code Coach JB. BetUS right now. I'm going to take T-Wolves to cover 7.5. Who's with me? Who wants to bet with me? Double up, B-Case. By the way, Gene, I saw somebody post, JB, you always negative. You don't want to talk about Caruso's defense. Let me tell you guys something. If you think that defense that they run AAU style is lockdown defense, then you just don't know basketball. But I'm the one that don't know basketball. Here's what they do all day in basketball now in the NBA. Anthony Edwards has the ball on top of the key, and he dribbles 600 times. And that's lockdown defense. I could sit there in front of him with a collapsing defense behind me that watches you dribble 600 times and say it's lockdown defense. They don't swing the ball anymore. They don't take the ball inside no more. They don't fucking go inside out no more. As the former 4 NBA players have been on the show the last few days has said to you, it doesn't go inside anymore. Everything stays on the edge. Guess how easy that is to defend? But that's lockdown defense. Got it. If you take OKC minus 8.5 today, interesting bet. Let me see the odds real quick before our guest hops on. It's actually minus 7.5 on BetUS. If you take the minus 7.5, and you take the Pacers plus 5.5 next game tomorrow, and you parlay that, and you bet $100 on it, you'll win $276. Now, if you bet $20 on it, you win $55. Now, if you take the Minnesota Timberwolves plus 7.5 and the Pacers plus 7.5, and you bet $100, you win $260. So it is what it is. I don't know. There's no real money in this thing right now. I play for big money. I play for big fucking money. Shout out to Ryan Hollins, man. Ryan Hollins OG, man. California native. The bigger odds are, is it a sweep or not? OKC in 4 or OKC in 5? Shout out to Patrick Mahomes, man. He got 2 new weapons in Kansas City. They're called big old titties. He finally got 2 offensive weapons in KC. And he bought his girl some titties. Shout out to him, man. I think she wants to be a Sports Illustrated model anyway, right? Just saying. I don't know. Best player I played with at Fort Hays? Shit, I don't know. We had a bunch of D1 transfers, man. We had a bunch of guys that came with me. We had a guy, Rashad Reed, played at Elko, went to Arizona out of high school. Inglewood kid, wide receiver, big-time NFL talent. Blew out his kidney in a game. Probably a 1%er when it comes to – he had basically a car accident injury on the football field, and this is how he did it. I threw him a post corner route. He caught it, landed on the ball, and played the rest of the game, started getting real sick, throwing up. No one knew what it was. Took him to the hospital. He had a lacerated kidney. He landed on the inflated ball after he caught it, landed on it like tucking it, and lacerated his kidney. And basically they told him he shouldn't play football ever again. And it was like a car accident injury in Mesa, Colorado, I believe. We were playing Mesa State. That's what happened. Yep, that's what happened. Unbelievable. So bet US, I'm going to bet that right now. That's what I'm doing right now. Just throwing it out there. Somebody fucking crashed a car on the 5 freeway yesterday when I was driving and then got out and just took off running. I wish I would have filmed it, but I was getting some head, so I fucking missed it. But it is what it is. We'll see. I want to throw this in there, Bailey, real quick. I want to ask the crowd, the audience, something before our guest pops in. Show this real quick. I want to ask the men in the room if there's anything. G. Wizzle said, JB, why these parents and coaches don't let the babies play multiple sports anymore? Because they can't afford it. I brought this up the other day. Can't afford it, homie. You know how expensive it is to play soccer, baseball, basketball, and football now, especially in the hood? Come on, homie. Can't afford it no more. That's why they don't play multiple sports, and that's why athletes are getting hurt at an all-time high, and that's why athletics are shitty now. That's the truth of the matter. There's nothing else other than that. I want to show you something because I came up to a conclusion that there's a gym right by where my boat is slipped. And I see, beautiful women walking in and out all the time. And I'm sitting there asking AE, I'm like, she mentioned something particular to me. And I've heard Lucy, Chris, and others mention the same thing. We were driving by, and then AE's like, oh, look at her cute outfit. That was the first thing she mentioned. Look at the cute outfit. So this was yesterday at the gym. And she filmed it for me because I was like, can you film this? That's the first thing you mentioned. Cute outfit at the gym. Just keep it real. Men, women, please just tell us the truth. You're not going to the fucking gym to work out no more. Just stop. Tell us the truth. You're not going to the gym to work out anymore. You're going to the gym to film content. Guess what? That's why all the small gyms are actually getting folded and going bankrupt and losing. Throwing it out there. That's what's happening. Keep it honest. Keep it real. That's what's happening. Because you can't tell me that we have more gyms in America than any other country. We have more vitamin shops than anyone else in the country, and we're the most obese country in the world. Make it make sense. But anyway, man, I can't wait. We got a special guest, an NBA insider, man. 25 years in this business. He's written stories on Kobe Bryant, rest in peace, my GOAT, LeBron James, and so many others. Works at Athlon Sports as an editor. And we're going to get his take on some NBA talk real quick as we wrap the show today on this Truth Telling Thursday. And let's bring in our main man, Shaun Deainy, joins the show. Shaun, how you doing, brother?
Pretty well. How are you today?
Oops, I can't hear you. You got me?
I do, yes.
There we go. Sorry, that was my thing. How you doing, brother? Appreciate you joining us, man. My co-host is off today. He works at Fox also, and they called him in today for whatever reason. He may have to film Paul Pierce walking 20 miles again or something. So that's what he does. So look, you're at Athlon now, covering sports. You've been everywhere. What's your biggest takeaway from last night's game, man? One of the biggest is that my thumbnail says choke 2.0. It's pretty much kind of what we saw last night. That game was unbelievable. I was on my boat on the water, and I didn't really watch it. I had it on my TV on the boat, but I was like, all right, this game's over. It's 1:11:97. I mean, there's like under 2 minutes. I'm like, there's no way. And then I'm in the car, and it's overtime, and I'm like, what in the hell happened? First of all, I got to ask you right out the gate before you even comment. Is this the same NBA? I know it's not the same, but we've had a bunch of NBA players on lately. Is this the same NBA you covered the last 25 years as far as how these playoffs are? Because I see every other night blowout, even Game 7 blowouts that I've never seen before. And in the same things, Chucky Atkins and Chris Childs and all these guys that have come on the show said the same thing. We didn't see Game 7 blowouts. Very, very few and far between. but we definitely didn't see this bad of a product. And is that why the NBA's viewership is down?
Yeah, I think there's definitely some of that. I think what's happened with the 3-point shot, when I came in and I started covering the league in the early 2000s, you might take 15 to 20 3-point shots a game. If you took 20, you were on the high end. Now you've got teams like the Celtics jacking up 53 pointers a game. And it spreads out the floor, and it takes away the middle of the floor, takes away a lot of the elbows, a lot of the physicality that you used to need to play in the NBA. That's really not there as much anymore. So I definitely think that's something that when you look at the NBA wanted more scoring. There's no question that some of those games in the early 2000s were pretty ugly, but I think they've gone too far. In direction of the 3-pointer. We'll see if there's rule changes or something that can kind of bring that back a little bit.
No doubt. I remember watching in the 80s in the Celtics, Lakers, and those great games, the 76ers and just the old school Knicks. And I went back and looked at some scores. We used to have 153, 150 games, 145, 140, and the ball actually moved. It went inside first. It came back out. Bird and McHale worked the paint and give and goes, like all the things. Then motion offense came, and then obviously the triangle with Tex Winters and Phil Jackson. They scored. Like, I don't understand why. And I get there's a Detroit Pistons team that came around in 2003, and they stymied that Laker team when Karl Malone and GP got hurt, and that series, and they dominated the Lakers in that series and won. They had a great defense. I don't know if we'll ever see that style again, but those things happen if you're that much better on defense as a team. That team had no real superstar. They just had a bunch of collective all-in guys, and that Detroit Pistons teams kind of resemble the bad boys, but I don't think that's a bad thing. I still think we had offense. Now we're trying to reinvent the wheel because the guy Steph Curry came along and reinvented the wheel, basically. And then we got 7-footers now. Everyone thinks they can shoot threes, and that's what's made the game, in my opinion, bad. I don't know, but
yeah. I mean, that's really, it probably started in the late '90s with Pat Riley, and that's sort of where all that started, and that got taken probably too far. In the early 2000s with, you mentioned the Pistons, but, even the Spurs, there was a Spurs Nets. I remember being at the Spurs Nets finals. I think it was 2003. And game 4 of that series was like 78-73. And I remember going back and talking to Greg Popovich after the game. He said, I think we just set basketball back about 15 years. And he was right. It had gotten too far. So you see this from the league. You see this in all sports, really, where there's a reaction to something that goes too far, and they got to find a way to kind of bring it back.
That was the Kittle's kid-led team, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Kenyon Martin,
Kenyon Martin, no doubt. Let me ask you about last night's game. So, what happened last night with this debacle? I think that probably lost the series for the Knicks, in my opinion, just because I don't know how you can be that high and then end up that low. That's almost like a Hail Mary beating you at the end of a game in football. I don't know how do we equate it, but that's a choke job. I haven't seen. The stats are alarming on conference finals. On this right here is crazy. In 1,100 and 1,400 games. That's the first time ever. Where are you at with last night's game? Was it great basketball in your opinion, or are we numb to such bad basketball that now a good game turns into a great game for everyone else?
Yeah, I thought one thing that happens, and one thing that we've seen happen a lot in these playoffs, is that the team that's winning takes its foot off the gas. You saw that with the Celtics in the last round. You saw it with the Cavaliers in the last round. And when you do that in the era of 3-pointers, it's a lot easier to come back from 15 points if you make 5 threes. You've done it. And that's pretty much what happened last night. Aaron Nesmith, had, I believe it was 20 points in that fourth quarter. All of them he scored in the last 6 minutes. He didn't score in the first 6 minutes of the fourth quarter.
5 threes in a row or something, 5 threes or something.
Yeah, and so that's very good basketball by the Pacers. They play fast. They force you to play fast, and their calculation is that if we force you to play at our pace for 48 minutes, somewhere along there we're going to catch fire. We're going to win that game because we can play faster. We're deeper than you, and you saw that bet pay off for the Pacers on that one. because they waited to the last 2 or 3 minutes, but no question that they wore the Knicks out. They forced the Knicks to play their way, and when they do that, then the Pacers are going to win those games.
Man, do the Knicks have a snowball's chance in hell now? This team beat Cleveland at home. Obviously, was the kind of the answer there. They got 2 there. If Indiana wins 2, obviously, I think it's over. But I like Jalen Brunson. He's my favorite player in the league. He reminds me of old school grit and guts, tough skin. I don't believe he's bothered as much as a lot of people would be in this generation. I don't think he's as bothered as everybody else. I think he's going to have that mentality to come back and get one. If the Knicks win, I think it's fair game. Obviously, Indiana did their job winning one on the road. That's what everyone wants to say. But if Indiana wins, obviously, it's over, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's one game, so there's still plenty of time for the Knicks to come back. You can say all that, but I do agree with you. There's 2 things that I'd point out. One is that it's hard to chase a loss like the Knicks are doing. We saw again, bring up the last series. The Celtics tried to do that, and it did not work. When they lost those first 2 games to the Knicks, they were trying to pull back and pull back. It's hard to win a series that way when you're coming from behind like that. And we saw it with the Cavaliers as well. So, the Knicks have put themselves in a tough situation. The other thing is you mentioned the mental toughness of Jalen Brunson. And I agree with you. I'm not worried about him. It's everybody else on that roster that I'm worried about. Karl Anthony Towns has not been through this, and he's never been known as a mentally tough individual. That's one reason he's not with the Timberwolves anymore. OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges, they've not been through this kind of thing before. So, I'm more worried about the rest of that Knicks roster, how they react to this and how they react to the toughness that we've seen from the Pacers. The Pacers are on a house money here. I mean, they're not supposed to be here. So that's the most dangerous kind of opponent for a team like the Knicks.
Let me go through this time frame here. So 242, it's 119-105 here.
Right.
Now, back in the day, with that much time, we did the hack-a-shack, and we did, the common theme is you're up 3, foul, so the team can't hit a 3. Well, they were up 3 multiple times, and I want to go through this chronological order of this thing here, how this went down. So they hit the 3, obviously. It's 119-108, 2:11 left. Now, mind you, Indiana's scoring, but so are the Knicks. So when I'm watching this on the boat, I'm like, all right, it's still, though. The Knicks are still scoring. So we're at a minute, and we're still down 7. And the Knicks still score.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, back to 9. Now,
yeah,
right here.
At this point, you think the game's over.
Right here, Shaun, explain what the difference is between the old school, you covering this game for 25 years, and now when you're up 9 and there's under a minute left. Thibodeau, to me, has done this now multiple times in this playoffs. Once against Detroit, one last series against the Celtics. I'm confused as to why we're not fouling and putting guys at the line and slowing the game down for that team that's hot as hell at the perimeter. Why are we stopping the 3-point game here by fouling them?
Yeah, and especially Nesmith, with the way that he was shooting, and he actually said after the game, he was asked, were you surprised to get those looks? He said, yeah, I couldn't believe that they were giving me that much room, that they were allowing me to get that shot off. To me, I'm tackling the guy. I'm tackling him before he gets into a shooting motion, and tackling him, when it's a 2-point, when it's 2 points. That's when you can get that opportunity to keep him off the 3-point line. You're up by 9 with less than a minute to go. Just don't let them shoot threes, and it shouldn't be as difficult as teams seem to make it.
And we're trading 3s for 2s, and I'm fine at this stage. I'll take a 2 with Towns right there scoring. There's 41 seconds. You're still up 8.
Yeah,
I'm confused as to why Thibodeau allowed this, and everyone's out there talking about OKC on the other side. We'll get to it here in a second with you. They're talking about the great defense. I'm like, nah, it makes it real easy on defenders when you don't put the ball inside it all, and you're all perimeter savvy, and you're just swinging it around the 3-point line. I can play defense. You and I can go out there and play defense with Caruso, that they're all calling the new fucking Kobe Bryant, apparently. I don't know, but I just wanted to go through this right here with you. That's all. This 35 seconds, they hit another 3.
Cannot let that guy get that shot. Right, exactly.
All right, so now 25 seconds. You're still up 5. Allow that 3. Now, this is where you start. You got to start fouling here, right, and put him at the line?
Exactly, yeah.
I don't get this
You
right
can't-
here.
you can't
And now
let him
this
do that.
one right here.
Yeah.
That shot right there, Shaun, as crazy as it sounds, I'm actually glad he made that shot because, damn, it's so fitting that we lost Jim Irsay, the owner of the Indianapolis Colts, and that 3 goes down. And it's kind of like seemed like it was a little bit face. I was like, wow, face right here. All right. Well, anyway, the game goes to overtime.
And one thing to mention, too, the Knicks missed 2 free throws down the stretch there, and those were big. If they make one of those free throws, and it's a different ending.
Out west, Minnesota, OKC, the line was 7.5. I took Minnesota game 1 in OKC to cover. They got blown out. The game was close, actually, without even Anthony Edwards doing anything more than, I think he shot 13 times.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we at tonight as game 2 hits in OKC? It seems like if they just cover and win their home games, they're going to win the whole damn thing because they're going to have home court advantage throughout. It's easy to say that, but obviously that never really happens. But who's going to still want it home from them? Is it going to be Minnesota or is it going to be in the finals? Is OKC a foregone conclusion?
I think Minnesota has a chance tonight. I really do. They've got to be able to knock down some of it. They took too many 3-pointers. I think they
53,
took
53,
and that's not them. That's the Celtics. Sure, that's not their. They're not a bad 3-point shooting team. They shouldn't be taking 53 though. They should be in the 35 range. And what was happening is basically Oklahoma City, because they've got so many big guys. They just crushed in on the paint and basically said, "You're not coming in here, so you shoot out there." And that's what the Timberwolves, they allowed them to dictate that. They can't do that. They've got to hit a couple shots to spread things out, no question. But then Anthony Edwards has got to just keep going in there. Even if it's not a great shot, you've got to keep going in there until you break them a little bit. And they didn't. They didn't show any willpower. They had enough to keep up in that first half, but second half, things started to go a little bit against them, and they completely folded. And they can't do that. They've got to keep hammering into that paint. I don't care how many defenders the Thunder put in there. I think it was 52-20 was the points in the paint in game 1. You're never going to win like that. You're just not. That's some old school. That's an old school number is points in the paint. And you could see how Oklahoma City really dominated there.
Shaun, the feel-good story would have been the Knicks T-Wolves make this trade in the offseason. You get Randall, you trade Towns, you get these DiVincenzo, you get all these guys, and both teams seem to be on their way to the finals. And everyone's like, both trades, probably the first real trade that worked out for both teams, and we could see a Knick T-Wolves final. We still can, I mean, in theory, but does this series though show you the lack of Towns though with Gobert? Is this something that could have helped right here?
Yeah, I mean, certainly they needed more size. I think that's really, Julius Randle has been fantastic all throughout the playoffs, but he's been playing against smaller guys. I mean, it's a little easier to do that against smaller guys when you're going up against Golden State. It doesn't really have a power forward. If Jimmy Butler's playing power forward, then that's not difficult for him to handle. But now you've got some real size that you're dealing with, and that's always been the issue with Randall is that he's a very talented player, just not big enough. And so you go up against a team like Oklahoma City that's got that size. All of a sudden, he's a lot less effective. So they could really use some more size. Whether it's a guy like Cat or whoever. But Randall's been really good for them. It's just this is not a good matchup for them. This is where they really need Anthony Edwards to take over, and obviously that didn't happen in game 1.
Yeah, no doubt. I got to ask you, man, you've written some great stories on a lot of famous folks, from Kobe to LeBron to Tiger Woods and Jordan. Who's been the most, I guess, your most cherished article on who the biggest name, I guess, who was the funnest guy to either cover or write a story on?
Probably Pedro Martinez was probably my favorite.
Really?
I mean, just an absolute character. Everything that you see, in front of the camera, he's the exact same way off the camera. That's all you want, right? I mean, you want whatever your persona is, you want that to be who you actually are, and you're not out there putting on a show. He's probably the guy who, was just an absolute blast to talk to. Every time you're with him. And I got to way back. I got to spend about a whole week with him, and it was fantastic. He's probably my favorite guy that I've ever covered.
No doubt. Let me ask you. I got to ask you because everyone wants to come on and ask. Everybody wants me to ask the whole GOAT talk.
Mm.
Where do you put LeBron, and then where's Kobe on your list? Kobe's my GOAT. I got Jordan and him 1A, 1B, however you want to swing it. I think they're in their own class for me. I also talked to a lot of NBA guys I know that say the same thing, and a lot of NBA players that played against both of them have Kobe ahead of them as well. The media, though, has LeBron way higher than Kobe for some unknown reason, probably because he's still playing. I don't know. Where are you at? Somebody that covered this whole thing for 25 years in this discussion.
I'd have Jordan first. I mean, I just think that the level of success, what he did, the way he brought teammates up, he raised teammates up to a different level, and whether it was off the floor with those workouts that he's famous for and all that, or on the floor with just the attention that Jordan, his ability to pass and pick defenses apart. I'd have Jordan first. I'd have Kobe second. Kobe gets dinged, and one of the reasons why I think today's media doesn't put him on the same level as LeBron James is efficiency, his he didn't shoot the three and things like that. That wasn't the game then. You can't judge him by that because that wasn't the game then. Allen Iverson won an MVP. He shot 40%, and you couldn't shoot 40% in today's NBA. People would freak out. They don't allow you to do that. But that was the game then. Kobe was playing the game then with his peers just way above where everybody else was. I think you gotta keep it into context. So you can look at the numbers and you can say, look, LeBron is better because of this number, that number. But you gotta have watched the games and what was going on. And I think if you were there and you're watching the games, you know what Kobe did.
Yeah, I agree. That's the thing. People don't realize a lot of the younger folks have no clue. They didn't get to watch it. All they got is YouTube to go back and say, I don't know, man. Kobe was I've had a bunch of big time guys on too that say, hey, man, Kobe was a much better shooter from every which way as far as Jordan was. It's much better 3-point shooter, at least, even though you said it wasn't the game. Obviously, we saw. I don't know. Kobe's in rare form for me, rare air for me. But I agree. Those got to be to me, they got to be in their own category. I don't know.
Yeah.
LeBron to me is just. I don't know how. I got to get your take before you get out of here on the Lakers. They make this crazy trade. And then the Mavericks get the so-called lotto. What are the Lakers doing? Obviously, there's no way LeBron walks away without doing a farewell tour. I'm sure that's going to happen, right? Cleveland, Miami, stops in all these places. That's going to roll out the red carpet for him. Where are you at with the Lakers? What do they do? Is it time is he the one that's going to have to say, here, Luka, or is JJ and the organization going to have to say, LeBron, go away?
I think LeBron's going to be back. He's not walking out with the way that last year ended with the first round defeat, the way that happened. So he'll be back. I think he wanted this to be what happened with Anthony Davis. He wants to pass the torch. He does. And Anthony Davis just wasn't the right guy for that. He couldn't stay healthy, and when he was healthy, he wasn't really a guy who could carry a team. Luka can. They need some help. They need some size. You saw that really. They got hammered by the Timberwolves because they just weren't big enough. So they're going to need to. That's going to have to be something that they address in the offseason. But LeBron will be back, and I think he'll want to kind of make that transition to Luka. And then LeBron probably after this. I'm betting it's going to be after this year. He might play another year after that, but I think he'll definitely be back this year. And I think they'll be a good team. A contender, yes, but probably not a team that winds up in the finals. But still good enough to be a 50-win team and be a serious finals contender.
I don't know how much you dive into the salary and all that on these teams, but the Lakers wise, everyone out here that wants to see, the Lakers have been historically known to get a splash guy like a Luka, like a LeBron, like all the guys, Shaq, and everyone else that's come through this organization when everyone else thought they could get them. Everybody out here, Giannis is coming. First of all, I don't know how they make it happen without depleting the rest of the roster. I don't really think the roster is very good anyway. But if you do pass the torch to Luka, he plays zero defense. We know how bad he led the league in getting blown by one-on-one solo. I don't know how you create a team and get perimeter savvy defensively like a OKC or somebody that's got athletic bigs on the perimeter that can defend 2 and 3 equally like OKC can. I don't know if the Lakers have enough space if you do go get somebody like that. I don't think they can get him, but just saying, if Giannis truly wants out of Milwaukee and wants to move, the Lakers seem like the place because it's LA and it's La La Land. Do the Lakers have any room to make any big splash, whether it's him or someone else? But I think they need help, right?
Yeah, I mean, they would need to make a trade, and they just don't have the assets. I mean, you look at what the Bucks could be offered by a team like San Antonio, by a team like Houston that's got young players, and they have a bunch of picks. A team like Brooklyn, young players and picks. There's 3 teams right there who are going to blow any offer the Lakers could make for Giannis out of the water. So there's just no way. There's no way that happens. The Lakers, I think, like I said, they'll make some changes. They're going to try to get a rim protector is what they really lacked. They need some of that. They probably need 2 guys, actually. They need a starter and a backup at center. They probably need another power forward, too, a tough guy power forward. We'll see if Jared Vanderbilt would be ideal, but he's been hurt so much. So they need a lot of things in that front court. They've got to remake that front court, but it's not going to be Giannis. It's not going to be that easy. It's going to have to be, a couple of guys that are sort of making reasonable money, not a superstar like Giannis.
For my folks out west, what are you hearing or rumblings? Phoenix, they had this big 3, possibly even a 4th. They had a loaded roster with Bill addition. Booker kind of took a step back, in my opinion, this year. And then KD, it seems like a lot of individual ball being played. What happens there? Obviously, they're going to probably blow it up, right?
Yeah, I mean, KD is the obvious trade candidate, and I'd be really surprised if he came back. Bradley Beal has the no trade clause, so he can't be traded unless he wants to, and he said, I don't want to. And it's kind of weird to be in a place where you're not wanted, but that's sort of what his situation is at this point. He's a golfer, so I guess he likes being in Phoenix. Makes sense. So that's not going to change. So the big question becomes, all right, do you trade Booker? Do you really go all in on a rebuild and trade Booker? Because that's where you can get assets that are young. That's where you can get a whole bunch of draft picks back. The same teams I just mentioned, a team like Houston, a team like Brooklyn, you could really rack up some real assets to start rebuilding that thing if you trade Devin Booker. The owner has said that's not going to happen. I haven't heard anything that suggests that's going to happen, but that's the only way that they're really going to start, a true rebuild of that franchise. Otherwise, they're just going to be, continuing to paint around the edges.
My buddies in Houston think KD is a foregone conclusion to land there with the young team. I'm hearing also, though, that the Houston brass doesn't want to get anyone older than 32, 33 years old to go with that youngest team in basketball, I think. Do you see KD going there with that young crew or no?
Yeah, it's possible, and he's not choice number 1. He's going to be down on the list. But if you miss out on it, you don't get Giannis, right? You don't get some of your other targets. Then you have to say, okay, look, there's a 2-year commitment to Kevin Durant. We can bring in nobody, or we can bring in Kevin Durant for a limited commitment. It's only 2 years. You won't have to give up that much stuff because he's 37. So you don't have to give up all these young assets. You still have them to make another trade later on. So that's got to be an option for them. It's not preferred. It's not what they want to do. They'd love to get Giannis there, obviously. But if choice A and choice B isn't there, and you got to go to Plan C, that's probably Kevin Durant for them.
Last thing, I appreciate you hopping on here. Transitioning to East, the defending champs, they lost to the Knicks, obviously the Celtics. Tatum goes down. Another crazy, Achilles. What do they do right now? They have a huge salary on a few players, and Jalen and Tatum. I think Holiday even has a big salary. What do they do? And Porzingis, to be honest, I believe was the difference maker last year. Being there now, the guy that just really didn't even play. They had Komet or what's his name off the bench that played more than him?
Yeah.
What are the Celtics doing? Are they gonna get back, or are we seeing that deal over and this thing gets blown up because just sheer money?
Yeah, I mean, look, the team has been sold, so the new owner doesn't want to pay these bills. That's for sure, especially for a team that's not coming off of a championship. So there is that to consider. But the hard question becomes, okay, then what do? You can say, we'll get rid of Porzingis. That's fine. Who are you giving him to? Because somebody's going to pay. He's up $35 million next year. Somebody's paying that. So who are you gonna get? Who's gonna give you 30? Take on that $35 million contract? It's not like the NFL where you can take part of it. You're trading that whole thing to somebody, and nobody's really going to want that at that point. Even Drew Holiday, he's due $100 million over the next 3 years.
Crazy.
At age 35, 36. Who's going to want that? So it's very easy to say, let's blow this up, but you got to find some partners here, and it's not going to be that easy for them to do. I think Holiday's a sure bet. I think the question is, do you trade Derek White or not? Because he's been really, really good.
Yeah.
He's another guy. He's got $118 million coming over the next 3 years. You'd have to find a taker for that. But he's a guy who they could trade if they're really looking to get rid of salary. That's probably where they're going to have to go.
So it's going to be Jaylen Brown's team for sure next year, huh?
Yeah. I mean, this is it's something that he's wanted. He hasn't said that out loud, but I think if you know him and you know how that dynamics of that team have been for a while, he's wanted to show what he can do as a number one guy. He'll get a chance. Not how he wanted to get a chance. Not saying he was rooting for Tatum to get hurt, of course, but this is the opportunity that he's always wanted, no doubt.
You think Tatum's done as far as seeing the young great star uprise that we thought maybe the face of the league at some point? Is that?
I think he can still get back. When you have that kind of injury, the question is how much do you rely on athleticism? And he relies on it somewhat, but not. He's very much a post up, a herky jerky. He learned a lot from Kobe. So I think he can come back from that. He's still young enough. And the way medicine has progressed, even in the last 10 years. I think it's something he can come back from and still be a very, very good player. Can he be, at the MVP level that he was last year? That's probably the big question. Probably not, but he can still be a really good player.
Yeah, that's a great take. Yeah, I agree with you. Man, Shaun, I can't thank you enough. Head on over to Athlon. Make sure you follow Shaun on X. Are you on Instagram?
Somewhere on there, sure.
No doubt. Hey, man, I can't thank you enough, brother. Hopefully we have you on again maybe after the finals. So I appreciate you hopping on here.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Shaun, appreciate it, brother. Shaun Deainy, Athlon Sports, NBA insider, 25 years of experience, man. So shout out to him. Some great insight there. Appreciate everybody popping on here on a solo mission that I had Thursday. Tomorrow we got a loaded lineup. We got a great guest on, a few great guests on. Tomorrow, free game Friday. Smitty will be back, I believe, and we'll get into it. And pound that like, subscribe, become a member, tell a friend. And if you haven't got the new merch, go check it out, CoachJBStore.com. We got it out there, so go get it. And I'll see you tomorrow for free game Friday. Join Sean Salisbury and I in about an hour for Unpaved over on Rumble. Catch Sean and I over there. I'm sure we're going to talk about the epic collapse of the Knicks and a lot more player empowerment as we discuss every single day. Plus, maybe the Yosemite Sam made up fucking weirdo human that's fucking up our national parks. We'll see you in a minute on Unpaved, and we'll see you tomorrow right here on the realest show on planet Earth. Peace.
This the real JB. You better buy the skin real quick.